Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Hope you're all having a wonderful night tonight. Indeed, F's in the chat for the assassination of Charlie Kirk. Absolutely tragic what happened. Prayers for him and, more importantly, his family. And we'll get into all that stuff tonight. It is a very heavy topic. It is a very dark topic, and we are going to cover some of the worst things imaginable. The last stream was called Hot Takes Only. This one here will probably be called Fed Takes Only or something to that effect. So if you aren't up for that sort of environment tonight, I would just go ahead and leave now, because this isn't something that's particularly fun to talk about. I would have much rather today been talking about TA targets being retards, but instead we'll do this, which is a little more important. But before we do, joining me tonight, I have Richard and Mr. Dank, who is green screened into his prior room with his bunk bed, his what's it called, the competitive sleeping bunk bed on the top tier there. How's everybody's night going?
Rough.
Good, other than the news.
Yeah. So sorry about no stream on Monday. I had a match on Monday, and then yesterday I was actually out shooting with Brassfax for a little while, so there'll probably be some content on that. But because of all of the happenings, we'll probably be streaming every day for the rest of the week. And yeah, I don't know anything else you guys want to share before we just move right into the topic, which is unfortunately a little heavy. And yes, as Risky Krisky posted today, it indeed did just get worse. Perhaps, as the title of the stream is The Turning Point, it's ironic that the company that Charlie Kirk founded, also called Turning Point USA, or co-founded, I want to say, but ironically might actually be the turning point in modern American politics.
Yep, it's getting crazy out there. Even my boomer parents are now getting to the point where they're just saying some things that previously would have been wild for them to say.
Yeah, I had a normie friend reach out to me. You could hear it. He was weak in his voice, and he said that he's probably going to take off work and see if he can't go to the memorial service. But keep in mind, this man has not missed a day of work in the past 7 years. This is big, and it's incredibly sad.
Well, and I think it came at right after the Arana, I forget how to say her name exactly, but it came right after that video got pushed everywhere, so everybody was already on edge talking about that. And then you see this, which hits basically the exact same thing, but watching a assassination in 4K. Now I do want to talk about the video. I'm not going to show the video, but I think you should go see it. I think you should watch what these people want to do to you and the effects. So I know that some people have said not to watch it, but I disagree with them. These are the people that are out there. And if you hold generic conservative opinions, as Charlie Kirk held, you are a target. Congratulations. And this is what they will do to you. Not even
normally I disagree. I would say no, but in this instance, yes, go watch it. His wife had to see it.
Yeah.
It's not fun. I had to take a breather after watching it. I had to go step outside, drink some water, and catch my breath. But it is a very important and pivotal moment in our country's history.
Now, I do want to note one thing. If you do watch the video, do not share it. Just watch it, because there are reports of accounts being nuked who are sharing it. So, especially on Discord, and I have heard that there may be issues with Facebook as well. So, just note.
Well, it is just a straight up death video, so it does make sense.
Yeah.
It is.
I understand that it's difficult, but again, I don't think you can hide from it. I don't think you should want to hide from it, and you should just understand that is the lengths that these people are willing to go to. And as some people are saying in the chat, actually quite a bit worse. If they could do worse, they would, right?
Yep. This is the reality we live in. Unfortunately, it's come to this point. So don't be
And,
blind.
I
You
want
gotta
to
see.
be I want to be very clear. If you're not angry right this second, you absolutely will be. Because I have, unfortunately, been scouring the depths of the most depraved, evil people imaginable that believe it's a good idea to post their thoughts and opinions online. And we get to experience that together, what these people truly think about you. All right, so, yes, Charlie Kirk, 31 years old. Husband, excuse me. Father, here we go. I think it's one of these. That's the hard one to watch.
His family, I feel so bad for them. This was indeed a dark day. And the people who are celebrating it, you're disgusting, disgusting creatures. That's all I've got to say.
Indeed. Now, I would like to say that quite interestingly, one of the last things that Charlie ever posted is this about the Ukrainian lady murdered on the train, which we will also unfortunately talk about a little bit later on. If we want things to change, it is 100% necessary to politicize the senseless murder of Aranya Zarutska, because it was politics that allowed a savage monster with 14 priors to be free on the streets to kill her. So I do want to be clear that this is actually what would make the most out of this tragic event.
After everything that's been happening recently, it is clear to everybody who is paying attention that something needs to change.
Yeah.
I think everyone's in agreement that something needs to change. And unfortunately, the people who disagree with us are going to blame the guns.
Well, there was that MSNBC co-host guy.
That was horrible.
I don't want to put words in his mouth because they're already bad enough. They're already bad enough if we end up. Oh yeah, there it is.
I have about 50 tabs pulled up currently, and you can see what these people really think about him and his family.
In which a shooting like this happens.
Yeah, and again, emphasize what you just emphasized. We don't know any of the full details of this. That we don't know if this was a supporter shooting their gun off in celebration, or so we have no idea about.
In which a shooting like this happens.
Yeah, and again, emphasize what you just emphasized. We don't know any of the full details of this. That we don't know if this was a supporter shooting their gun off in celebration, or so we have no idea about.
In which a shooting.
Okay, yeah, could be. I think it's the same thing that right after the Trump shooting in Pennsylvania, that
Loud
there was
popping noises.
Well, loud popping noises, and then there was the one that said, "Oh, somebody tripped on stage," or Trump tripped on stage. That was an immediate reaction as well. And when they see the video of Charlie Kirk, which is again a brutal, terrible video that you should at least experience once, when you watch that video, and you're like, "Oh, maybe one of his supporters accidentally shot him from a rooftop 200 yards away." Okay. I don't even know what would lead one to believe that sort of thing. Like, realistically, right? Not just joking or memeing, because I've seen the jokes and the memes and stuff like that floating around, and I think, well, you know, even I have a line. Okay, I'm an edgy boy, I get it, but even I have a line, and stuff like this is where I'm like, I'm just not going to engage in that sort of thing. But to be like a quote unquote journalist, you don't hate them enough, and come up with a take like that. Interesting. So, thank you for that. Huge ass. He deleted this post, but screenshots are forever. What a vile and disgusting scumbag. This is John Miller. Given that everyone is okay, ... If you can't laugh at Charlie Kirk being allegedly shot at an event in Utah, politics just isn't for you.
Just gross. Hey, quickly laugh at this father who just got shot, regardless of the politics that he has, whether you agree or disagree. I disagree with him quite a bit, but that doesn't matter.
Well, so and that's another thing which we need to make very clear here. Charlie Kirk, pretty milquetoast Republican in terms of his takes.
Extremely.
Very generic conservative. Some would say Con Inc., you know, pro-Israel, MAGA, boomer, whatever you want to call it, right? He had all of these extremely generic takes, and they still killed him for it. And so, as somebody who's also a semi-public figure and has, let's say, more extreme takes than Mr. Kirk, like, my 5-year plan probably is getting shot in the back of the head at some point. That's what it looks like. That's our current political landscape. Fantastic. Now, this is from our favorite Destiny or leftist streamer. Destiny says, "Who's gonna do it? ... Charlie Kirk." And this was in 2024 or something like that, where he posted this. Now, Destiny also celebrated the death of the firefighter at the Trump shooting in Pennsylvania, and he's made a habit of saying some of the most awful, evil things while being a cuck, quite literally, and also not acknowledging his only child. Just a terrible excuse of a human, and he is somehow the face of leftist debating. The strongest is the strongest leftist debater versus weakest patriot, I guess. All right. Oh dear.
I'm not saying she deserved it, but I'm saying God's timing is always right.
And goodness knows the wicked's lives are no.
Vile creatures.
Maybe there's not a political solution for some of these people.
Oh no, there definitely is.
Well, I don't know. Yeah, Ethan from Texas says trying my best not to glow. This is all disgusting. I don't know what you're supposed to say. Like, this is Fed Post only. Welcome to Fed Post only.
There's nothing else to say. I mean, a father was murdered for having differing political opinions and saying, "Hey, come up and debate me, please." It's just bad.
Charlie's whole shtick was that when the talking stops, the violence starts. And he just wanted to have a conversation with people.
Yeah. Quite famously, even if you disagreed with his talking points, he would talk it out with you. Dear.
My sympathy to Charlie Kirk's family and to Charlie Kirk, who obviously has, become a target for somebody. I don't know whether it's political violence because I don't know who did it. I know they seem to have somebody in.
He got murdered for a political, not rally, but like
it might not be political,
conversation
guys.
At a college campus. Might not be politically motivated though, even though he's a talking head for the Republican Party essentially. Might not be political though. I mean, no, it's objectively a political assassination. That is exactly what happened.
Custody. But I will say that political violence, unfortunately, has been ratcheting up in this country. We saw the shootings, the killings in Minnesota. We've seen other political violence.
Is he referring to the trans church shooting where the person murdered 2 Catholic school children in Minnesota? Because that's one of the other recent ones.
Occur in other states. And I would just say it's got to stop. And I think there are people who are fomenting it in this country. I think the president's rhetoric often foments it. We've seen the January 6th rioters who clearly,
All right. January 6th, where you have grandma carrying her flag through, not orderly through the the halls of justice or whatever, ironically named, or Charlie Kirk getting yeeted with a what appeared to be a pretty significant rifle round, and being murdered in front of thousands of people for his wife and children to see. Basically the same thing.
Can't believe January 6th is always happening every single day, guys.
Yeah, January 6th, where nobody died versus a outright political assassination.
Seems equal to the left.
Well, J6 has been like the left's 9/11. Like a B&E is equivalent to.
They walked
9/11
in the
for
velvet
these
ropes. Oh, they were let in. Oh.
Well, yeah, as police officers ordered them down, no, go down there, and then they would just walk through and whatnot. Now, were some people destructive of property? Sure, okay, but again, it's a B&E at worst. But no, it's actually Trump's rhetoric that caused a leftist to kill Charlie Kirk's moderate positions. Okay, Charlie Kirk 10 years ago, 15 years ago, would have been center. Maybe even center left on some issues, especially when it comes to immigration or whatnot. 15 years ago, he'd have been center left on some of that stuff. But now he's, again, generic conservative, and that means he's got a target on him, or had a target on him, quite literally, right?
People go around calling everybody who's moderate Republican, oh, you're part of the KKK. Oh, you're literally Hitler. Oh, you're a fascist. And then they get killed for it.
Sorry, Northern, you are correct. To be fair, Ashley Babbitt, yes, did die on January 6th by a DEI cop.
There was also another lady who was beaten to death, but nobody talks about her.
I wasn't even aware because all that sort of stuff has been. And then they tried to say 3 police officers died. It's somebody went home and had an accident later on. Somebody had a heart attack later on. One of them committed suicide. And then they tried to run all of them as J6 deaths.
Yeah, the one that they initially tried to label as an overdose. Yeah, she was beaten to death by Capitol Police. They released the video later on quietly. It was very, very hard to watch. Her name was Roseanne Boylan. That's
Jonathan
for another time.
Bacone says, "Well, we're gonna keep mentioning some other people in this stream as well. How much till people have had enough?" I
think we're getting there.
I can't fed post too hard, okay? Because YouTube will do YouTube things to us. But there is a boiling point, right? And so you see stuff like this, which has been ramping up especially over the last 4 years, I would say. And I think that there does come a time, and we've kind of seen it, the Aranya murder being so blatant and so evil as well. I have never seen more generic conservatives saying, using the hard R on Twitter or X or whatever you want to call it, and calling out some of the issues that they see and not being afraid of doing so. 6 to 8 years ago, 10 years ago, I mean, these people would have melted at the thought of being called racist. And now they're like, I don't care. I don't want to live like this anymore.
It used to be political suicide. Now it's just what everybody's saying.
Well, and now Sam Hyde replies to every DEI Congress person or any political influencer with the hard R N-word. And that's just part of his shtick.
I won't disagree.
Okay, speaking of evil, disgusting individuals that we have talked about before, a better way to trans kids loving better way to which I think there's another word that's synonymous with that in my vocabulary. We want to be absolutely clear that we do not endorse or celebrate violence in any form. At the same time, we can't ignore that years of spreading hatred, generic conservative points, Fueling division. I think Charlie has been an advocate for more immigration. And making a career out of dehumanizing others would eventually come with consequences. It's like, we don't condone what happened. But I mean, come on. You saw what he was wearing. He was asking for it, right? Come on. Come on.
Oh my gosh, dude.
When someone devotes their life to painting fellow Americans, here's the thing, Mr. Levine. People who aren't here legally or came here illegally or were dreamers, whatever you else call it, they're not American. Sorry.
By definition.
It is only a matter of time before one of them reacts. Yeah, it's like if you say, you know what, I don't agree with your gender dysmorphia, they'll murder you for it. Come on. Like, duh. Those are like equal outcomes right there. It's like you say, I don't believe in your gender dysmorphia, they murder you. Fair is fair, right?
If you don't affirm their mental illness, they'll kill you, or they'll kill your kids.
They'll kill you or your kids, or your daughter riding a bus home one day, and she's not paying attention. And it is only a matter of time before one of them reacts. Charlie Kirk built his platform on tearing people down. He quite literally had public conversations. He quite literally had public conversations with willing participants. As far as I'm aware, he never forced anybody to talk to him at gunpoint. As far as I'm aware, I could be wrong about that. Maybe all the videos are edited, but I'm pretty sure he just had normal conversations with people. And what we are seeing now is the inevitable result of that choice. We're not celebrating this. Now keep that in fucking mind, because Mr. Reno May screenshotted their response, the dancing crabs, and it's like, maybe you're just a fucking liar. Maybe you are just celebrating it. You are celebrating it. Like,
that is quite literally just celebration.
Yeah, we are not celebrating this, and we know the consequences will reach all of us. One can only hope. But it's also a stark reminder of the hubris it takes to believe that you can act this way forever without repercussions. What he's saying there is, listen, you guys who also have generic conservative talking points, listen, there's going to be repercussions for you too. You can't go on forever saying you don't like trannies or whatever else it might be, or you don't love illegal immigration or whatever the current thing is. If you keep doing that, there will be consequences for your evil actions, generic, conservative, white person.
Yeah. Also, act what way? what are we talking about
When he's
here?
saying act this way, he means quite
you disagree
literally,
with me politically, you deserve death.
without repercussions. Above all else, our thoughts are with his family. Fuck you, you lying sack of shit. Who should never have to bear the weight of choices that were not their own. So he's like, yeah, sorry your dad was a POS. Sorry your husband sucked.
Underhanded diss, what are we doing?
Well, I mean, underhanded, but he's also In Range TV reposted it. Fuck you, Carl. Fair enough. And everybody that associates with you as well. Just to be clear. And a Better Way to A, which is also Lead and Steel. Yikes. And Reno May doing the right thing and being like, actually, I think you're just a liar. I think you are just doing a little bit of celebration there, being a little happy, doing your little crab dance for Charlie Kirk being assassinated. The West has had a suicidal empathy, let's call it, right? Where we think that we can solve all of the world's problems. We can invite the world in and change them to adhere to our own values and morals and live in our type of societies and whatnot. And, that empathy meter, right? I think it's getting a little bit lower. That would just be my perception of it right now. I think that suicidal empathy, it's kind of reached its logical conclusion. And I think people, with the advent of things like, body cams and X footage and all of this other stuff where we can just see the results of these people's actions in real time, I think that empathy meter is just getting a little bit lower these days. And eventually it's just going to run out.
Yeah. People cannot afford to be empathetic and nice if they're dying from it. It gets to a point where, I'm going to be nice. Oh, they're going to kill you.
And even their own people are like, people on the left have said dehumanizing things too. Be honest, you're celebrating, or at least telling people to have the right opinions. Disgusting. And I mean, he's this is like ostensibly somebody that follows him is like, listen, man, like this is a little too far. I mean, come on, leftists have done some wacky things too. But no, what a better way to and by extension, Carl the cuck Kursada is saying is that if you believe you can act this way forever without repercussions, you're wrong. Whatever that means. You know, good luck with that, though. Good luck with that, though. But we're not done with tranny-loving faggots yet. We're not done. YZY Prince also posted the political commentator Charlie Kirk just shot in the neck during a speaking engagement at Utah Valley University. And YZY decides to post to a story the dancing, butch-haired lesbian. I think that's the best slur I can use. Lesbian dancing, celebrating a goal, as if this is some like big political win for him. When the biggest win, well, nope, see, I can't even say that. I can't Fed post too hard. But there's YZY Prince. Also, false copyright striker on the channel. Every day I reconsider my position to not have taken you to court over a false DMCA claim. Every day, YZY.
You should have.
I still have it in my back pocket, by the way.
It's always next time.
Yeah.
You know what happens when you do that, right? His information gets out to public courts.
Yep.
Now, speaking of hubris for your actions, a better way to aim. No, I'm not deleting them everywhere because turns out people who don't think bad things should happen for different opinions, which you objectively do, are trying to dox me, which I wouldn't normally care about. But my wife, you mean like Charlie Kirk's wife and his kids, mean more to me than social media arguments. And it's like, no, they're deleting their post from today. Interesting argument. And he's just lying. A better way.
But you don't think Charlie Kirk
calls for death or says like, hey, you guys can't be doing this. You can't be having those bad thoughts, that wrong thing for too long. You know, something's going to catch up to you. And then instantly, when people call you out on your crap, play the victim. Instantly. That was Carl in the chat. Sorry, fuck you, Carl. Hey, how about Harry Sisson? Now, Garantham wants to box this guy in a charity event, and I say double GT's trend and send him in. Whatever he's taking right now, double it and send him in. Okay? Harry Sisson, I don't know how to say it. Stop sharing that effing video of Charlie Kirk. It's horrific. His family doesn't deserve that. Just had a total loss for words. You know, wind the clock back just a little bit. Just wind it back, wind it back. Oh, look. Charlie Kirk is a sick, racist piece of trash. Just put the Klan hood on already, Charlie. Interesting. Almost like your vile and incorrect rhetoric for, again, somebody as milquetoast as Charlie Kirk. Your rhetoric against him might have led to people thinking like, wow, this guy's a real problem, and me and my big brain, I should do something about it. And then again, to come in and be like, wow, stop posting that video, it's awful. It's like, well, yeah, that's the result of your words. You should be forced to see it. I don't know who Harry Sisson is, but he doesn't have the haircut of someone that can fight. Yeah.
Nope, he doesn't talk like somebody who could fight either. If you've ever watched any sort of video of him talking.
I don't know this guy. Is he
TikTok
commentator?
TikTok left-wing debater who cries about nonsense.
He's a paid left-wing political mouthpiece. He was hired for a couple different things, a couple of speaking engagements, and he spoke at the White House when they had that TikTok event, and yeah. He is nobody of importance.
Just Hassan Piker on a better payroll.
Yeah,
Probably
Well,
a worse
no.
payroll.
Hassan Piker makes insane money on Twitch, dude. What is his average stream count? Like 20, 30,000 people at a time?
Unfortunately high, yeah.
Yeah, that's
Scarily
pretty
high.
ridiculous. Let me turn down your mic a little bit. You're a little hot. That should be good.
That
Hey,
better.
how's your night going, Space?
It was going all right till the news broke, and then really just showed how divided we are as a country, and that we are very far from healing.
Let's see. Well, I'm very sorry about that, Space, because your day is about to get a little bit worse.
So that just happened. I mean, sorrows, prayers, sorrows, thoughts and prayers. Guess I'll quote. I don't know. I'm not too sad about that. Charlie Kirk was a acquired taste, and no, not for me. So that
They
just happened.
definitely look exactly like you think they would look.
Always remember that in a democratic system, this person has the exact same voting power as you do. Greatest argument against voting is, well, I mean...
Voting's
how
a
do-
privilege, not a right.
Yeah, I was trying to say, women's rights, am I right? Am I right? Am I right? Yeah, there we go. Somebody
Cough,
said
cough,
it as soon as I
19th
said
Amendment.
it. Yeah, repeal the 19th. You know what? NTAC is drooling. Well, there is a whale there, so there's probably some blubber. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, all right.
Heavy choking on my water.
No, yeah, I didn't know what that was if you were trying to say something. All right, another one from this punished mother. Maybe Charlie Kirk shouldn't have spent years being a hateful, demagogic fascist. Charlie Kirk, a fascist, really? I'm insulted. Maybe he should take some personal responsibility. Charlie should take some personal responsibility for being assassinated at an open mic conversation at a college.
What?
Yeah.
This is
Listen,
absolutely insane to me, especially because my view of Charlie Kirk is like almost a liberal in a lot of aspects. I'm like,
Well,
I don't agree with the
right.
guy, but like,
It's
what
crazy
the hell?
to think.
What the hell?
It's crazy to think that people think that he's like super right wing or like alt right or a fascist or some sort of like racist or anything else like that. Like Charlie Kirk's pretty milquetoast, bros. And again, that's why I'm saying to everybody in the chat that has issues with Charlie Kirk, remember they hate you even more.
He's so far to the left of me, and this just makes me think, what would they do to me? What would they do to
Unspeakable
you?
things.
What would they do to half the people in chat?
Charlie Kirk
They'd tell us
is
to
like-
get against the wall.
Yeah.
Sorry, go ahead, Space.
Charlie Kirk is like your boomer dad, but who went to law school and knows how to argue. That was his big thing, is that he could actually articulate points and debate people. And
Yeah,
he
no, people
probably-
pointed out he was a very good pro-life debater in a lot of these, and he had a lot of good talking points that he was well rehearsed on.
Yeah, but as Dank was saying, most people that make up the current conservative we'll say under 40 demographic are probably farther right than Charlie. So that just kind of shows you what their mindset is when you're interacting with people on the far left. The center is evaporating and camps or tribes are being formed.
Right. The political polarization is happening. Well, it's how can you watch a generic conservative get murdered live and maintain a moderate position? right? I think that that's a very untenable position to hold now. Because you understand what these people want for you. Like, this is what they want. These people are sick. Make her famous. Whoever shot Charlie Kirk, thank you. Clapping emoji. Clapping
Well,
emoji.
speaking of who that person is,
Nope, shut up. You don't. Nope. Nope. We do the bare minimum here to not be accused of doing any sort of doxing, good sir.
no, I'm not doxing. I was the FBI, the statement from Cash Patel.
What about her?
Apparently, the guy that they took in is not the shooter.
No, I know that. We already have that covered.
Okay.
It'll be on later. Don't worry. Don't worry.
All right.
I got it.
Okay.
Bleeding from the neck. LMFAO. Again, whatever you think about Charlie Kirk's politics, generic politics, this is him, his 2 very young children, his wife. Again, he was 31 years old, which is just older than me currently. And I also have young children, so this did hit really hard today. Really, really hard. And I'm sure anybody who has kids or has lost a father or anything like that, you know, it means a lot to you. And remember, these are the people that you are up against. They hate you. They'll laugh at your death. They will mock you as you're bleeding out for attempting to have a conversation. These are your enemies. This is your opposition. Now, this is somebody that I know people were kind of pointing towards the possibility of being the actual shooter. This is Charlie Kirk is coming to my college tomorrow, and I really hope someone evaporates him literally. Let's just say something big will happen tomorrow. It's a little bit foreboding, considering the circumstances. Now, this could just be early Fed posting, but yes, you will believe the owner of the account is a transgender individual.
That totally looks like a woman, guys. 100%.
Could barely tell. You know, it's a tranny, or it's a hair metal drummer from 1985. Take your pick. But you know, this is the person who owns this account. Now, this is not saying that this person did anything untowards, but he was Fed posting before the event goes on, and it just seems a little odd. Like,
really doesn't look good on paper.
Yeah, it's like the meme point where they print out your bomb threat tweet, and the FBI shows up at your house and is showing it to you, and then the guy's like, "Yeah, you know, this really doesn't look good on paper." Yeah. Well, I would expect a visit.
The most important question about this gentleman is, when is the last time they've spoken to their father?
Before he went out for milk.
Somebody says hop. That is not hop.
Oh, God.
I am Great Value brand hop. We both enjoy 40 cal, but I am shorter and substantially younger.
Side effect of gun.
All right, here we go. All right. Liberals are celebrating Charlie Kirk's death. Live by the sword and die by the sword. He did say that gun deaths were an acceptable side effect of gun rights. The deranged, creepy laugh at the end while smiling makes me absolutely furious. The rage I feel. Enough is enough.
Live by the sword, die by the sword. He did say that gun deaths were an acceptable side effect of gun rights. Live by the sword, die by the sword. He did say that gun deaths were an acceptable side effect of gun rights.
It's really hard to hold your tongue on
Live
some
by
of
the
these
sword,
videos.
die by the sword. He did.
Live by the sword, die by the sword. Charlie Kirk, once again,
What sword?
most famous for talking, for quite literally debating pro-life issues. I think that was his best debate topic, and talking at college campuses. That is the sword that he chose to engage with, and the left met that with real bullets, right? And something that I do want to talk about is that this is sort of meant to have a chilling effect, because again, as a young father with children, I'm like, oh shoot, this is the reality of the world in which we live in. perhaps it would be a good idea to speak out a little bit less and to be a little bit more careful about what I say and all this sort of stuff. And it's meant to have a little bit of a chilling effect, right? So killing somebody so publicly, so obviously in front of so many people for the world to see, it has people second guessing, right? I think that's the intended effect, is to make other people less likely to stand up. Usually, however, it has the opposite effect, because it makes people angry. And when people are angry, they're more likely to stand up and to say things that they normally wouldn't. Like before Charlie Kirk's death, I honestly didn't think much about him because, again, he's kind of a generic conservative. And now you've successfully martyred him and galvanized exactly half of the country against yourselves in ways you're probably not prepared for. So congratulations.
No, you're next.
Here we have a future scholar. Following Charlie Kirk's death, this radical leftist is threatening conservative podcasters, saying they're next in line. He's already made 3 videos celebrating it. Make this POS famous. You're next. Now, I don't know if that's him adding the "your necks" or somebody else, because, you know, ask and axe are difficult vernacular to nail
They don't
down.
always know how to say those specific words the right way.
Let this be a lesson to all those other conservative freaks, those little weirdos with podcasts. Just know your necks are on the line. Your necks. No. Your necks.
Hey, look, it's me, a little weird conservative podcaster. Although, listen, I don't really call myself a conservative, okay? But I mean, yeah, I'm next. I'm next, man. Or something like that, whatever he's saying.
Hello? Bitch, did you hear Charlie Kirk just got shot in the neck? Actually, no, I'm listening to Man Down by Rihanna.
Please don't copyright strike me, Rihanna.
So bad I'm gagging over any fucking thing these days. So, apparently...
What?
State of the world getting so bad I'm gagging over any fucking thing these days. So, apparently at Utah Valley University, Charlie Kirk just got shot in the neck. Bitch, I don't even know what to fucking say to that one. Except, you got me fucking gagging. Let this be a lesson to all those other conservative freaks, those little weirdos with podcasts. Just know your necks are on the line. Your necks. No. Your necks.
Cool. Very cool.
Thanks for
excellent,
recording
Mr.
your threats in really HD video and then posting them online. That's really cool.
Well, listen, the the events that are waiting for this African scholar have not yet occurred, right? Because time is moving backwards towards him. He's not progressing through it, right? So
Things only
he's simply
exist in the past.
waiting for things to happen.
You
Waiting
create
for
time
things
by
to...
sitting around. I know what you're going for.
Yeah, bro really thought he cooked with that wordplay. His father was obviously not there for him. Let's just say that.
Over 70% of the time.
Okay, how about this? How about just fucking threatening the Vice President of the United States? Just outright. JD Vance says, say a prayer for Charlie Kirk, a genuinely good guy and a young father, which everybody in the chat should have prayed for Charlie Kirk and his family already today, but you should also do it again, as I'm sure they needed in this time. And, you know, this little person decides to say, you're next. Tread lightly. Yes, that is the sitting Vice President of the United States. And Libs of TikTok decided to tag the FBI and Secret Service in this, as he should, because I find that quite funny. And I hope that this person has a wonderful visit from the FBI.
This entire post is just hilariously ironic. Because look at the account name.
Well, adorned with love. Yeah, no, I totally get that it's
So much
ironic.
love.
What's behind every cat post is a 400-pound Reddit mod, right? Just a whale of an unwashed human. And so I hope that when they put him in handcuffs, if it can't reach, they'll have to double the handcuffs. Have you guys seen that, where they use 2 sets of handcuffs to actually put him in his hands behind his back because they can't get close enough?
Sometimes you get the rare triple. I've seen that once before.
Yeah.
the triple. They deleted it doesn't matter, bro. Doesn't matter if they deleted their X account, dog. They got him, all right. Like, listen, you post
think
this
Elon
stuff.
Musk is not going to work with the Secret Service?
Well, I mean, that's the thing too, is when it comes to death threats on their platform, X has already like worked with officials to get that done because that's fucking illegal, right? So they kind of have to comply with the law.
I bet 4chan could find this dude in about 15 hours or less. And that's just open source.
X has their own liaison office for the FBI. Like, they have their own permanent standing office for FBI agents.
Well, yeah, so that's like saying if I made a death threat against like some politician, right, and then just deleted my account, like, they can't find me now. It's like, I don't know if that's how that works, bro. Good luck, though.
No, but I'm at
Best
home
of luck to
base.
you. Okay, well.
If you want a little hope core, I did send you a good video on Discord. Some actual good takes on that little palate cleanser.
Well, give me just a minute. I'm lining up the rhetoric, as they say. Okay. Here we go. So now this is one of the videos that's been circulating around that purports to show the actual shooter themselves. So it does not show anything violent or graphic. Don't worry about that. But it purports to show the shooter running across the roof after he has taken the shot. We're not sure if that's what it is. But you can see, I believe, this little speck right here. You see it move left or right to left across the screen, running away from the rooftop, allegedly where the shot actually took place. And you can see it kind of disappear back there, a little human. And then, because this is the crowd that was sitting there waiting to talk to Charlie, waiting to listen to what he had to say. And then that allegedly, we have no idea at this point, nothing has been confirmed, but allegedly is showing the person running across after taking the shot. You can see everybody has already reacted to it. Everybody is looking, everybody gets down, person runs away, and then people start fleeing out the sides. And I'm not sure if this one individual here just doesn't know what happened, or if he's just morbidly curious, or if he's not quite all there because he's just staring out blankly as everybody else is reacting. So we can see this is where Charlie Kirk got shot. This is where this courtyard area where the event was being held. Inside this Hall of Flags building is where that video is taken. You can see across it from the low roof all the way up to the high roof, which is about 150 yards away. So this was... The Trump shooting was also roughly 150 yards away, I want to say. And unfortunately, Charlie was just not as lucky. Just not as lucky. And I cannot play the Charlie clip assassination footage, but you should go watch it at least once.
Be warned, it is extremely graphic.
Very graphic. It's graphic. It's disturbing.
Very graphic.
It's honestly probably one of the most graphic death videos that I've ever seen. And it's also so visceral and immediate. And it's weird too, because it's somebody that, you know, you've known about and you've watched for years. Even if you're not like following him, you see his clips, you see his face, you see him do all this stuff, right? So it's a strange feeling. And so you can see here the low roof, and then he's on the far roof on the other side. Slowly runs away. That is, again, allegedly this angle here. That's just a close-up of the individual, although, again, the quality is quite low. Now, there is a police recording, I'm going to let this play, that tries to not identify the suspect, but they're giving a description of the if you want to watch the footage, it's on X. You can find it on X.
Maybe the CS building is just east of the library. He's wearing jeans, black shirt, black mask, long rifle.
I promise there's more audio.
250.
Blue Honda Odyssey, no plate.
35. And east 600 north. Denver.
To UVU, there was one shot. We are staging at the front of the school.
As far as the caliber being used, if you watch the video, the close-up video of the murder of Charlie Kirk, it transfers a lot of energy into his body. Like, there is a violent reaction to his shot. So I don't believe it was 5.56. Just from looking at his physical reaction to it, it appears to have been a higher caliber, whether 308 or 6.5 or whatever it might be.
Nobody knows exactly. Probably a hunting caliber. If you had to make a wild shot in the dark guess.
A 5.56 might do that if he did get hit in the spinal column. Right, it was in the neck, and if it transferred enough energy to hit the spinal column, it can cause a violent shock like that. But I would argue that it's...
I wouldn't be shocked if it was some sort of bolt-action cheap hunting rifle. So we're talking 308, 30-06, 6.5 Creedmoor, 243, something in that range.
On the top of this audio, they did arrest the one individual before that, the false one that did have the air rifle. That was quite a long air rifle. So
yeah, I have that video pulled up
possibly
next.
Be that individual. Not 100% sure.
That individual does not match this description. Just real quick.
People are tagging me in things. Second, yeah.
Is on top of the building on the far north side, just east of the library, wearing jeans, black shirt, black vest. We are regional currently.
34 for Medic 35. Other victims.
All right. So this is the one of the close-up videos from Mr. Guns and Gear. This is a suspect. You can see what appears to be like a really inexpensive air rifle over here on the side. And this suspect in custody. Now, I don't know the full story on this. This guy has been released, and I have that statement pulled up. But apparently he was just being obnoxious and had an air rifle on his dash. And so, of course, being very precautious, they, arrested the guy because there was a shooting in the area. He had a quote-unquote rifle, although this, again, appears to be just a break-action air rifle. Certainly not capable of killing Charlie Kirk in the way that video purported to show. But this is one of the original suspects.
That's his rifle.
Well, and you can see there that it was like bent at an angle because it's a break action. So this person has been, oh shoot, let me pull up this one next. Can I move it? This person has been released. So the subject in custody has been released after an interrogation by law enforcement. Our investigation continues, and we will continue to release information in the interest of transparency. And now let me check real fast to see if there has been any updates, and there has not been any updates for the last hour from him. Now, never let a good tragedy go to waste. Mr. Rabbi Shmuley made it instantaneously. Thank you, Vintage. Made it instantaneously about himself. Says, urgent appeal. Donate now to protect Rabbi Shmuley. And this was today as we witnessed yet another attempt to silence pro-Israel voices, which he's referring to Charlie Kirk. We are reminded of the constant threats facing Rabbi Shmuley. Yeah, anyways, that guy, like, died or whatever, but, like, you need to donate now to protect me from me anti-Semitism or something, right? This is really about me is what this is about. For years, he has stood boldly for Israel and the Jewish people, yet he has been physically assaulted in Vienna, Miami, Sydney, and even in Times Square. The dangers are real, and they only continue to grow. To ensure his safety, referring to Rabbi Shmuley, and his ability to continue this vital work, we urgently need to raise funds for cameras, fencing, and professional security personnel. Without these protections, Rabbi Shmuley and his family remain exposed to unacceptable risks. Donate here.
All he's missing is the "it's what Charlie would have wanted" line.
yeah, that's what Charlie would have wanted. Yeah, Gentile News Network says, you sick bastard, how can you make this about you during such a terrible tragedy?
Agreed.
Within minutes, Rabbi
Yo, this
Shmuley's
guy
like,
got shot. Give me money.
You know, I'm really in danger here. I smell a prophet.
Oy vey, I don't care. This guy literally died.
Damn, wow, this response section is mega based over here. Damn. Yeah, if I didn't know better, I would swear this is a parody account. Get in there and make it about you. True. Yeah, literally. Yeah, not Rabbi Shmuley, not helping the stereotype, not doing a good job. Well, okay. I think that's going to wrap up the Charlie Kirk section, unfortunately. Again, prayers for him, for his family, for his young children, for having to witness this horrifying tragedy. For everybody involved there, I think that you guys should do whatever it is that you can do to attempt to help them out. And as Charlie himself said, if you want change, it's 100% necessary to politicize the senseless murder of Aranya Zarutska, or in his case, Charlie Kirk, because it was politics that allowed this savage monster with 14 priors to be free on the streets to kill her. Don't let the death be in vain. And as for you and your family, this should probably galvanize you to be prepared for whatever else it might be, because again, this is what the left wants to do to you. You should probably start getting your cardio in, probably start working out a little bit, making sure you're all squared away on the preparedness front. And yeah, I'm not into panic buying, but if you don't have anything, well, you're a little bit behind the curve on this one. So, as Mr. Guns and Gear would say, prepare accordingly. But all right, we're gonna get to some of your support here, and I do want to say, mods, if I know there's a lot of people in here tonight, if people are gloating or trolling about Charlie Kirk's death, feel free to just execute them from the chat. They don't need to be here. Zach Attila for 10 says it's really hard not to Fed post. Indeed,
Very
this is
much.
Fed post. This is Fed post only. Thank you for that, Zach Attila. Zach Taylor for 488 says also late and gay. I'll have you know I was on time, good sir. Bardic Psycho for 2 says justice for Kirk. We can only hope. And something that I do want to say is when we talk about the Aranya murder, there is a chance that we do get the death penalty for her murderer. So I think, honestly, if you want to cool tensions down, public executions might just do the trick. And that would actually have a chilling effect on these potential murderers. Which
If
is
you
why they used
punish
to be done. in public.
crimes and instead of letting somebody out 14 times, 24 times, however many it was, hey, people stop committing crimes.
Zacatilla also becomes a new member. Thank you, sir. Chud McGill, member for 1 month, says, is it time to Fed post? This is kind of the Fed post stream. For real, rest in peace. Pray for his family. Indeed. Thank you, Chud. Mitzvot says, insert Fed post here. Miliz Demeanor for $50 says, Leighton Gay. Anyways, rest in peace, Charlie. May the Lord hold your family close and keep them. Remember, people, get right with God, carry a gun, and watch out for crazies. I've also seen other people saying that if this does not motivate you and your local church to develop some sort of security plan, you definitely should. And if you're planning on doing any public events, if you're any big figure like Vintage Warfare, Brandon Herrera, some of these other guys that were named in the training manifesto, if you're making public appearances, you got to make sure your security is on point. And that is just the unfortunate reality of the world we live in. But thank you, Melissa Demeanor. Thank you for the kind words. IAR Boogerman for 2 says, as a black man, Charlie spoke truth. Liberals suck. I agree. Thank you, man. Todd and Dogs for 2 says, rest in peace, Charlie Kirk. God bless his family. Indeed.
I have a
Melissa
quick
Demeanor
question
for
for,
2. Go for it.
Boogeyman. I want to know if we have
Boogerman.
his permission. Boogerman. I want to know if we have permission to rename at least one MLK Boulevard to Charlie Kirk Boulevard.
At least one. Melissa Demeanor for 2 says, Charlie's America. There is something tragic and awful as it is that just the way that humans work, there's something that can be as powerful in death as in life, right? Becoming a martyr. And it's tragic for him and his family.
Don't let it be in vain.
Ezekiel Herrera for 5 says, God bless him and his family. I genuinely pray for our country and for everyone here in this community. Thank you. The Lightspore says, everything I've seen as an LE in that video as well as the Ukrainian girl fundamentally shook me. As it should. A line from a great movie is that people need... I'll come back to that. But yeah, there are... Sometimes it requires great action to actually wake people up, right? Not just symbolic gestures, not just kind words, but real, tangible action. And unfortunately, it comes in the way of graphic murder videos of what these people are really like. Huge Ass for 5 says, unfortunately, it's only going to get worse before it gets better. The Asphalt Brothers. Well, but that's the only way for it to get better. So you don't get to the other side without going through it. Gabriel Baker for 5 says, Charlie Kirk's views are essentially the GOP's views. Mainstream Republican. If they think he's worth assassinating, imagine what they do to you. Indeed. Thank you, Gabriel. DPR. They shoot us, and all we ever do is ask for prayers and say rest in peace. I understand the sentiment. I understand being angry. And we do all intrinsically understand that things have to be done, but it's waiting for the right moment, right? Stealth for 5 says, if this is what they thought of Charlie, imagine what they'd think of us. You can feel the total narrative shift. Yeah, I think people are done. Battle Rifles for 10 says, Charlie was awesome. He was local to us. I built him a custom rifle. Awesome. After he wrote his super based Second Amendment book, he came by and gave us all signed copies. He was actually based. Rest in peace, Charlie. Well, I'm very sorry to hear that you lost somebody that you knew as well. Watching that video for you, man. Thank you, sir. Arcboy says the time for discourse is over. There's still some discourse. There's still some things that need to be said, which is what we're doing here, right? But the discourse does need to shift a little bit. Ryan Chapman says, get risky on here. You know, I could message him to see if he wants to hop on. Arkboy for 2 says, we need to band together on the right. Indeed. Yeah, no, I think that this is galvanizing the right. As the left posts hideous, deranged, laughing videos at the assassination of Charlie Kirk, it just further galvanizes the right to work together. It's not really what they want. Melissa Demeanor for 2 says his wife had to see it. Based, Richard. Yeah. His family will never be able to forget it. Maybe you shouldn't be able to forget it either. Arkboy for 2, Fed posts. Can't coexist with these animals anymore. Arctic says leftism is a death cult. I mean,
to themselves.
That's not how it works, though. That's not how sin and depravity works. It's always infectious. It always has to take more. It always has to be accepted. Not only
misery loves company.
You remember when they said just let them get married, okay? They'll leave everybody alone. And now they're like, no. If you don't let us convert your children, like we're gonna kill you. We're gonna kill you. Being left alone, the libertarian dream was never an option.
And it's not converting, it's chemically castrating and killing your kids.
Noob, pray for peace and prepare for war. Hopefully this doesn't lead to widespread conflict. May God have mercy on us all. Indeed, thank you. SV89 says, rest in peace, Charlie Kirk. Lord have mercy on his wife and children. Indeed. And again, like SV89, I totally get it because we're pretty aligned on politics-wise, and Charlie Kirk was to the left of us. But yeah, I mean, it's completely irrelevant to, somebody has bad opinions doesn't mean that we assassinate them. Right. And
no, you just call them retards and move on.
Exactly. You call them gay retards and you move on, just like all your buddies. Mitchell Black says, I don't feel like being funny tonight. Nobody should be funny tonight. There's very little funny about this.
Understandable.
Coppertone says, please donate to the camp fund for Rabbi Shmuley. Yep. He's gonna have to focus in this camp. Melissa Demeanor says, Lord, please give me strength from my about to Fed post so hard. # glow so bright. We do it for you, sir. But thank you, Melissa Demeanor. Hugh Jasper 20 says, no jokes for me tonight. I hope that Charlie's in the presence of our Heavenly Father tonight. Indeed. So, shit.
You need me to take
many
over
such
here.
cases.
I'm losing it. I'm losing it here.
Cases,
okay.
It is a common through line.
There is a phenotype that a lot of these people who are celebrating the death of Charlie Kirk, they all have. And it's just unfortunate. And it's, yeah.
It is. It's rough.
Sheepherder says there is a political solution, kinetic politics. SV9 says the political solution is 1930s Germany. Listen, if you didn't want to recreate Weimar Germany, why did you put all of the building blocks back into place? Jake says, God bless his family. Charlie is with the Lord. The other narrative emerging from these subs is the Minnesota lawmakers that were killed were done by a MAGA guy. Another lie. Can't talk with liars. That's all they have. It's got to stop, and its strength president's fault? ? Almost all of the violent attacks have been on conservatives or on like generic white people in general.
Yep. And they will continue to blame conservatives for getting attacked by them.
Well,
they've done it time and time again. I don't see them stopping anytime soon.
I was talking with a few people on that side today, and they very much believe that it is the conservatives who have started the political violence, and that because conservatives are less than human because of our beliefs, their actions are justified, especially when retaliatory. So
Well, that's the meme, right? Your enemy is ontologically evil, and therefore anything you do to them is justified. But I would say on one side, it is the satanic inversion of morality. That's my worldview.
I think the more interesting thing, though, is that they believe that they are acting in a retaliatory manner, that conservatives at some point cast the first stone, and that is part of their foundation for their argument.
All right. Viral Pew says all these horrible posts, when they get fired and or kicked out of social groups, they blame everyone who opposes them and not themselves. Women and leftists, no accountability. It's not in their nature. Richard, double check this, but I heard the shot. Hey, this is from you, Space Cowboy. It was from 2,000 feet when converted to yards. 6666 repeating. Is that a joke, Space?
I had heard the 2,000 feet thing, but that was wrong.
Yeah, I heard
it was more
200
like
yards.
200 yards. Yeah.
Yeah.
It was more like I think more like 140 after you
Depending
checked
on where exactly you shot. Where
it was
exactly
from
you
the-
shot from, we don't know.
It all depends. We don't have
I don't
really
I don't
solid
need to
information.
I don't care whether it was 146 or 152. He was shot from, I don't care. Zuluwitsky. Surely we know he was taken out because he quote unquote leads young Republicans, and this wasn't some leftist lone gunman who happened to get lucky at 200 plus yards. I am open to conspiracy theories about that sort of thing, but if there's some big organization after him, maybe they wanted to kill him publicly like that. I mean, if you want to go down like a conspiratorial route, or you can say it was just a lone crazy gunman who was again known to the FBI or whatnot. I'm sure that story's about to drop. It's like, oh, gunman was XYZ who was known to law enforcement.
Yeah, and
that's
law
quite literally
enforcement-
about to happen.
In law enforcement's defense, when they say he was on our radar, that's moot when everyone is on your radar.
Well, it's like they say it to think like, oh, people are paying attention, but it's like, well, you should have done something then, surely. Around the Fire LLC says public schools, OPSEC nightmare. Charlie was a brave man doing good work. Youth are indoctrinated. He encouraged them to ask questions. Rest in peace, brother. I mean, I have in the past like trivialized like security and stuff like that. Like, oh, you don't need to be like afraid. Like, you can go out, you can say whatever you want. But 100% wrong. 100% wrong about that. If you are a large public figure and you have even mildly controversial opinions that some leftist Redditor transvestite is upset with you at, there is a good chance that somebody's actually going to try and kill you. Echoes of the Past says, where do we go from here? Thoughts?
I have thoughts, but I'm just going to keep them as thoughts.
Well, if there is a political solution to it, I think that we reintroduce body dysmorphia to the DSM-5. I think that we have massive re-immigration and all these other things that are almost impossible, if not insanely unlikely. But that is the political solution, which if I were a betting man, which I'm not, but if I were a betting man, I wouldn't be betting on that one. SV89 doing his Fed post, which, as we'll see, is not necessarily a bad idea. Go ahead, Dink.
Oh no, I was gonna say something, and now I'm like, I'll wait for another time for it to come up.
Chud says, if they do that to him, imagine what they do to you. Indeed. Lorenzo says it's time to regulate platforms who don't censor call for violence. Reddit, Twitch, and others bear responsibility. Listen, Twitch will nuke any right-wing political commentator for any like slightly edgy take, but they'll allow Hassan Piker to call for violence against. Today, Nick Fuentes, he said, "Oh yeah, we gotta send somebody after this guy or something," right?
Also, just playing terrorist propaganda videos and
I mean, that
videos
too,
on
too.
stream. So
he clearly didn't learn his lesson. He did react to the uncensored close-up of Charlie getting shot, and he seemed pretty disturbed by it. But we need
It's
to
a
check
disturbing
the
video.
timeline.
Too bad his rhetoric and his side led to that. Tragic, huh?
Hopefully he learns a lesson and the grace of our Lord can find him. But for some others, it seems that they might be pretty far
If the
gone.
grace can't find him, hopefully the wrath can.
S59 says leftists won't stop until they are crab dancing on your kids' headstones. Never relax. Dr. Fuzzy says people talk about when we win, but then do nothing. Again, it's a very fine line because on the left, you're allowed to say and do quite a bit more. You can commit 14 different felonies and get released and still be prowling on the streets if you're of a certain ethnic background, let's say. If you have the right judge, right? But if you commit like hate speech, or who was that one kid who did a burnout on a pride sidewalk or a pride crosswalk, and then they fucking threw the book at him for doing a burnout on it, like something like 5 years or something retarded.
I mean, we covered this the other week with Shiloh Hendricks. She got like 270 days and a fine.
Well,
of like
we're still
$1,000.
fighting that. We're still fighting.
It's still
that 'cause
getting
he
fought,
3 counts.
but the charges were brought,
Mhm.
and in the same place, there was a man, subhuman, I will say, who molested 2 small children.
Pedophile,
and
like objectively a pedophile. He
Yeah.
got caught for it, and he
less
got-
than a man. Evil.
Muhammad.
He did 120 days, right, in jail, no prison time. Got off of his permanent record, and like some sort of community service, right?
No registry.
For diddling 4 and 9-year-olds.
No registry either.
Yep.
In this case, in the Charlotte case, I believe the judge actually, not only was she not a lawyer or had any form of professional qualification, but she owned a rehabilitation facility.
I'm gonna pull that up. Don't you worry. Don't you worry. Negative 30 degree nightmare, which we already did cover this, but says sorry if I missed it, but make sure you cover JB Pritzker's comments. Yes, he blames Trump, and then he blames January 6th for some reason. Moonman for 5 says just got back from my local McDonald's and had a wild convo with another glowy about this very thing. He blamed the nasal decongestion. I don't even know him. Well, hey, glowies often run in the same circles.
Beds of a feather.
Yeah, Moonman says past tense libtards is an acceptable side effect of living in a better world. Yeah, past tensing people. That's a good one. Past tensing people. Thank you, Moonman. Tax Driver says, being a car guy, I hate they stole the word tranny from us. Yeah, I bet you're always blowing trannies, huh, Tax Driver? Sad. John says, Lord have mercy, Christ have mercy. Indeed. Thank you, John. Chud, these people have the same rights as you. Repeal the 19th. Indeed, mega-based. DP Chief 216 says, I used to go to school at UVU. I live 10 minutes away. My mom works there, too. I have a lot of fond memories in that courtyard. Never going to look at that the same. Sorry to hear that, man. Melissa Meaner says, these clips, I'm either tearing up or about to glow like the damn sun. There is no in between. No, that's been my emotions today as well. It's been hang out with my kids, hug my kids, maybe cry a little bit, and then want to do specific things to people.
That is the
no
human
dice
reaction.
Yeah. No Dice says they literally blew the moderate option away in front of all of us. That's one way to put it. I don't think people know what this means for the country. I think, as the title of the stream, this is the turning point.
We will see very soon what happens.
The world is horrible. Hug your fam. Love y'all. Thank you, J. Algonis. Melissa Meter says, amen. Pray for Charlie's family. They did not deserve this. Neither did Charlie. Matthew 25:21. Oop. I did the wrong one. I'm at 25:21, not 24:21. His Lord said to him, well done, good and faithful servant. You were faithful over a few things. I will make you ruler over many things. Enter into the joy of our Lord. Thank you, sir. Axe Grind says, Fed jacketing is officially a subversive tactic. What is Fed jacketing?
Real quick, Fed jacketing is just accusing somebody of being a Fed, essentially. Okay. It's same as bad jacketing, but
okay,
it's Fed jacketing.
Mike says, get with your boys. Well, you should actually, if we're going to talk about communities, you do actually need to like have a group of people local to you that you can interact with, right? And actually depend on. Not like some like vague YouTube gun community type thing. No, but have an actual real community of people you can actually physically talk to. That's what's important. Chud says, I bet you regret saying no Fed posts now. Be safe. Yeah. I know. Thank you, Chud. Bert says, I'm leaning towards him being sacrificed for the PSYOP, for not being 100% loyal to the chosen people enough. That said, can't for the upper I ordered. What? Can't for the upper I ordered. Did you order an upper for me? I don't know. But I've seen the conspiracies floating, and you know, I'm a conspiracy theorist. I'm a conspiracy enjoyer, I would say. Right, it was a sloppy troon or an old leftoid. My bad. That's exactly why they already caught the shooter. LMAO. Well, they haven't caught the shooter yet, which is the problem. Copper Tone says tall tree, short rope. Indeed. Testing says I had no idea In Range was pro troon. Unsubbed. Thank you. No, their In Range is very gay. Like, you know, Carl was a Satanist, right? Like, legitimately a member of the Church of Satan before they kicked him out. Like, he's very pro-gay, pro-tranny, pro all of that. You didn't know that?
Yeah, being too radical for the Church of Satan is quite a
I'm glad to fix that problem for you. Guns, Gas, and God says, my name is related to the solution. Yes, indeed it is. Indeed. Heathen from Texas for 2 says nothing, but we appreciate it, sir. Bert says, Harrison Smith said he was in fear for his life if what? But all right. Romans 12:19. Let me pull that up.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Beloved, do not avenge yourselves, but rather give place to wrath, for it is written, vengeance is mine, I will repay, says the Lord. Now, I want to be clear here. Vengeance is personal, right? So that would be like somebody does something to me or my wife or my kids, and then I personally go out there and kill them for my own gratification, right? That's vengeance. Justice is basically the same thing, but not for own personal reasons, right? Which is why we can still go out and do these things to people, but it can't be for your own selfish reasons. So people will often say like, oh, well, we don't want vengeance. We need to forgive these people and move on. It's like, no. We need to execute. We can still forgive them, but we need to execute righteous judgment upon them. And there's absolutely a place for righteous judgment, for righteous anger, and all of this sort of stuff. And we as Christians need to be discerning when to apply it. So I do not like people using Romans 19 or Romans 12:19 or any of these other verses to say like some generic do not judge type of thing, because that is simply not what the Bible teaches in a holistic manner. But thank you for that. I don't think that's what you're meaning, sir, but that is a good verse. 50 TNC USA or TNCSA says, we've tried the ballot box to no avail. We tried the soapbox only to be censored and assassinated. There's only one box left. Way Too Evil for 2 says, tell me on what you didn't agree with Charlie. Well, Charlie has stated many times that he wanted like more and more immigration. Like he said once that he was flying over the Midwest and saw all the empty space, and he was like, we could fill that up with people, meaning South Americans, Indians, or whatever. And I'm like, I don't want that. I like my small town being nice and clean and safe. I don't want 1 million more immigrants from pick a country here. I simply don't want that. There's a lot of things that I disagree with. He, very pro-Israel and pro-intervention in the Middle East, which again, I'm also not pro-intervention in the Middle East. So yeah, I mean, we disagreed on a lot. We disagreed on a lot, but he was still
couple things.
Just a couple things.
Yeah, you could look into his opinions on a lot of other stuff in free time, but right now it's just like
it's not really appropriate to be like, well, actually, I really disagreed with you on like immigration. All right, that's not important. I don't care. As Heathen from Texas says, I feel so sad for his children. Not only did they lose their father, but they will end up seeing all the hate towards him.
Hopefully,
I wish nothing but the best for his children. And I don't know what sort of thing that this does to a child.
Yeah. They seemed pretty young. Hopefully, their mom does not give them access to the internet especially at that age. So they do not see this in any capacity until they are substantially older, and hopefully they did not witness it in person.
They were. I think they were there.
Yeah, they were at the beginning of the speaking event. He was
Yeah, I
on
think they were in the
stage
crowd.
with his wife, and I don't know if kid or not. So it's just awful.
Judd for two says, "Get ammo, get fit, and pray to God. Stay safe, bros." Indeed, indeed. I ordered another 3,000 rounds today. Again, don't panic buy, but I was like, you know what? I probably should just add a little bit here.
We all say don't panic buy, and then we
we panic buy.
rounds on the day. I did the same thing today.
Yeah. Well, I was like, I was gonna get it anyways, but I was like, I need to put my order in right now. Charlie
You are
recently,
the office meme. Nobody panic.
Nobody panic. Charlie recently spoke out against Benjamin Netanyahu on the PBD podcast, said it's possible that he let Hamas attack Israel. I have seen that one floating around as well. Thank you, Irish Bear. SVD9 says total pavement ape death. All right, fair enough. Sheepherder says, where do we go from here? RWDS, end of Fed post. Right wing
Dude squads. You're just hanging out with your homies.
Yeah, right wing dude squads. That's right.
Yeah.
There's a right wing dude squad. Yeah. Chimpeth says, have we covered the 13-year-old in Washington with all of the guns? Not yet. I don't know if we're going to get to that one tonight. Zacatilla for two says, we can't expect God to do all the work. Well, here's the thing. God chooses the instrument of justice. Sometimes that is nations, sometimes that is natural disasters, sometimes that is individuals, sometimes that is like specific people, right? Like Samson or any of the judges or anything like that. He raises nations up to execute his will, and perhaps that's your generation. Never forget that Christians protected the West from Muslim invaders during their Crusades and stopped that from happening. We retook Spain after 700 years of Muslim control. So, yeah, don't forget. Don't forget. Thank you for that, Zach Tilla. Stephen Trentz for two says, I fight for kids, V4. Well, and whatever you want to say about Charlie Kirk, his anti-abortion arguments were great, right? He was a good debater when it came to all of that sort of stuff, and that's the thing. The left can claim violence or whatever they want to talk about all day long, but how many millions of kids do you guys murder a year or whatnot? What's that number again?
What is it, like 26% of my generation?
Yeah, no, I've seen the Gen
something
Z
like that.
or Gen
It was
Alpha.
26% of Gen Z was aborted, and Gen Alpha is substantially smaller in size than Gen Z.
Now, correct me if I'm wrong, but isn't the stat something like for black children specifically, it is a coin
50.
toss? It's a coin toss, or worse than a coin toss in terms of born or murdered.
Yeah, it's
Margaret
like
Sanger
51%.
is very happy with the current iteration of her child. Planned
Sanger.
Parenthood. Yeah, she's the person who created it. She was a big fan of eugenics, and you can cross-reference the location of Planned Parenthood clinics and the income levels of the neighborhoods they're in.
Yeah, that's a story for another day. But she was a horrible, horrible person.
All right. Gideon Young on Ko-Fi says, pray for the Kirk family. Indeed. Hopefully they find the assassin and publicly execute him. Genesis 9:6 can't make the stream, but blessings. Well, thank you very much, Gideon Young. I appreciate that, sir. Whoever sheds man's blood, by man his blood shall be shed. For in the image of God he made man. Basically, again, reiterating the you should expect justice in this lifetime. And if not in this lifetime, if you feel like you've escaped it somehow, still going to get it in the end. Paps Blue Ribbon says, Richard, PFP now. I don't know which one he was which one he was referring to, but he wants you to change your PFP, I think.
This
Lord
is-
Prism says, oh, that's the one. Okay, perfect. Lord Prism says, message to the gents. They want you dead, your wife graped, your kids diddled, and they think it's funny. They shot a milquetoast debate, bro, and cheered. What do you think they would do to you? Well, just like the SRA members thought the exact same thing. A generic, they'll say, we'll accept anyone, but a generic conservative is too far right. Huge Ass says mainstream media needs to be held accountable for this. They have just as much culpability as the Dems do. I agree. Well, we saw them. They were like, wow, this is crazy. Did one of his own supporters accidentally shoot him in excitement? This was totally a Trump and January 6th thing. All right. Gene Ocean says, the video is one of the most disturbing videos I have seen. I've seen things that have happened on Target that haven't made me feel as uncomfortable as I have watching that video. I disagree with Charlie a lot, but he was a husband and a father, and I feel for his wife and children. Indeed, 100%. And I think there is a verisimilitude that happens when you watch his death, being somebody that you have seen, you've heard him speak, he's been a part of online culture for the last decade or more, since he was a very young man, and to see him killed, HD, slow-mo, 4K, whatever it is, like that, the aftermath, everything, I think that is what makes it hit harder. And to know that he was ostensibly like the guy in front of you, right? He's like the moderate position, the middle of the road guy, so to speak. No, still conservative, right? But he's the guy in front of you.
The most pro-life person, I would say, on the internet today.
Fresh Pinochet says, I won't be able to make the show today, so I will see you all in the VOD. Richard, loving the profile pic, very classy. Prayers and blessings to the Kirk family. Prayers for us to be of clear mind and purpose as we administer justice on those who would kill us for our beliefs. Indeed. And it is about that. It is about justice, and that's what it has to be. Geonosian says, do these effing retards realize anyone in the middle of the swimming pool that saw that happened and how the shallow end is acting is going to be real turned away now, and that's okay by me. I think that you cannot watch that and maintain a moderate conservative position, realizing what they think of you and what they'll do to you. The Glowy has brought up the Niger stabbing the Yuki, saying around blacks never relax. He also said blood and soil. I may not be the glowiest glowy in alphabet country. There's always a bigger glowy, or a brighter glow. Chud McGill says, the full vid with all of those quote-unquote people who watched her get stabbed and did nothing made me disgusted. Okay, well, we'll talk about it, but there is an element there of all these videos of people getting beat up or assaulted or anything, and there's people around. I cannot fathom for the life of me how you can sit there and watch that and record it and just do nothing.
Never
no
police
kind
your own
words,
communities.
no empathy.
Also, no police in your communities. That's what they want.
Not 1 ounce of empathy to even help her or kill that individual. Words cannot describe how angry that makes me. I agree, Chud. And with that, thank you very much for that, gentlemen. But we are going to get... Well, Plastic Guy Rumble says, what could be more encapsulating than the dude trying to have a conversation with the other side bleeding out on the debate stage? Yeah. Yep. From one Fed post to another. Well, how about a lighter topic? The murder of a Ukrainian girl. What's more dangerous to the average white girl? Russian tanks or inner city black? You tell me.
Terminate
The latter option.
And the one idea is how we are going to exterminate white people, because that, in my estimation, is the only conclusion I have come to. We have to exterminate white people off of the face of the planet to solve this problem. Now, I don't care whether you clap or not, but I'm saying to you that we need to solve this problem,
because they are going to kill us. And I will leave on that. So we have to just set up our own system and stop playing and get very serious and not be.
He's got that flipped.
Well, no, I agree with his endpoint. They do need their own system. I would just recommend it be on a different continent. I think
They have one.
if that's what you would like, I think that we just grant you all $1,000 and a one-way ticket. Really enticing offer. How about
I know of a wonderful continent that would just saying.
Author of Blacknificent books. I'm going to look this up now because I haven't looked it up yet.
And the one idea is how we are going to exterminate white people, because that, in my estimation, is the only conclusion I have come to. We have to exterminate white people off of the face of the planet to solve this problem. Now, I don't care whether you clap or not, but I'm saying to you that we need to solve this problem because they are going to kill us. And I will leave on that. So we have to just set up our own system and stop playing and get very serious and not be diverted. And
by the way, when he says solve that problems, he means killing you. I'm trying to find.
Does this gentleman live in the United States?
Yes, of course. This is on C-SPAN. He's speaking at some sort of town hall.
Of course he does. Look at how he's dressed.
I'm sure the tribes who sold that gentleman's ancestors to the Muslims and then to the British would love to have him back and would welcome him with open arms.
Ah. Interesting. Dr. Kamal Kambon, former professor of education at St. Augustine's College. This is one of your liberal indoctrination professors. This actually is a professor, a scholar, right here. A little bit ironic. Now, how about this? One of the last tweets from Charlie Kirk's account before he was assassinated live for all to see is official Black Lives Matter account justifying the murder of Irina. Is it? Sorry, I keep pronouncing it incorrectly or different ways. Is it Irina?
Irina.
Yes,
Irina.
Irina Zarutska. Breaking, the official Black Lives Matter account has posted a video stating that black people have a right to violence. Now, keep in mind that Irina was sitting on this bus or this train on her phone, minding her own business. The one or the two crimes that she committed, number one was relaxing, and number two was being white. And this man took out a knife pen and stabbed her multiple times in the throat. She didn't realize what was happening. She sat there for 15, 20 seconds, freaking out, muffled screams, crying because she going into shock, rolls over, bleeds out on the floor as the other passengers walk on by. Whatever.
One of them actually walked away.
Right to violence. I don't think
you have a right to go into this wood chipper, sir.
I don't think that 13% of the population wishes to engage in right to violence behavior. The numbers just don't add up.
Have a right to violence. All oppressed people have a right to violence. And I'm going to tell you something. It's like the right to pee. You got to have the right place. You got to have the right time. You got to have the appropriate situation. And I'm absolutely convinced that this is it. Have a right to violence. All oppressed people have a right to violence.
All minorities can murder white people at any point in time. It's like going to the bathroom. Just the right moment, the right time, and this was definitely one of those times.
Also, she came to this country to escape a war. What the hell?
She was not safer here.
Yep.
Really, we are witnessing the side effects of the removal of mental asylums from our society. Some people just are not
I
fit
think
to be
it's
intermingling
it is
with
that.
us.
It is that, and you are correct about that. But it is also the fact that we allow these people to not be punished. So there's two ways through this, right? We hold everyone accountable for their actions, which means that we triple the prison population of certain ethnic groups, or we say that the prison system simply can't hold them all, and so there are alternative means of justice.
Helicopter rides.
And I'm going to tell you something. It's like the right to pee. You got to have the right place. You got to have the right time. You got to have the appropriate situation. And I'm absolutely convinced that this is it. You have a right to violence.
Right to violence. Very cool. Very nice. Yeah, well, here's the two paths you can take. You stop a black man, you make national news, and you almost catch a murder charge. Daniel Penny.
Or
almost.
You do. With the
or you
case
do
of
in
the
some cases.
Space Force guy who
or
chased
in the
those
case
teens.
of in the case of
Broke
also
into his car 3 times.
Well, not only that, but Derek Chauvin, right?
Yep.
You could the left will lionize a porn star, a fentanyl addict, a woman or a man who pointed guns at a pregnant woman's belly, right? Common thief, all the other things that you could say about Mr. George Floyd. And however, if you attempt to stop or intervene, that's the real crime for a lot of these people. Yeah, we have a right to violence. Well, we have a right to defend ourselves. Again, I just don't think that that's a long-term plan for you.
Something anarcho-tyranny.
Well, and that's the thing too. When the justice system no longer works, people tend to take matters into their own hands. That is what tends to happen. It's like if you have a local PDF and the cops refuse to do something about it, eventually some dad is just going to take matters into his own hands. That's just how it's going to be. And if you want to avoid vigilante justice, which I believe is a valid form of justice once the justice system itself has failed, or you could argue is working as intended to fail, once that has fallen apart, it is your job in your communities to police your own.
It is your responsibility as a man to defend your family, regardless of what the law says.
The official Instagram account of Black Lives Matter posted a brief video clip appearing to justify violence on Wednesday in the wake of August 22nd murder of Ukrainian refugee Irina Zarutska, who worked at an area pizza restaurant, was stabbed to death while returning home from work on a Charlotte light rail by DeCarlos Brown, a man with a lengthy criminal history, had been arrested 14 times. Movies of color, blah, 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 1983 movie. We have a right to violence. Now, the part of the video that wasn't being shown around in the beginning, right, was the end of it, where Mr. Brown said, I got that white girl. I got that white girl, said in surveillance video released by Charlotte Transit Authority Friday, as other passengers eventually went to the aid of Zarutska as drops of blood from the knife dripped onto the floor of the train car. Now, that's simply not what happened there at the end. I'm not sure who eventually came to her aid, but by that point it was simply way too late. But all of the passengers next to her, which we're going to take a look at in just a second, just left. So this guy, young white girl, and again, it could have been a dude, it could have been anybody, it could have been a fat, ugly bitch, right? But it probably would have come out with the same outcome. But this young girl, after her late night shift at a pizza joint, which also, we simply don't live... I know that we think that we live in a safe society and whatnot, but husbands, boyfriends, dads probably don't let your girl be out by herself late at night, especially in public transit. Just don't do it. It's kind of your job to protect them, so don't let them do stupid things like this. We wish that we lived in that society, but we simply don't. We simply don't.
Unfortunately for her, I don't think she had any husbands, dads, or brothers around to do so because she came over here from another country looking for safety.
It's very possible.
And this is what she was met with.
Yep.
Well, I mean, it's the same thing in
Another
that
reminder-
Scotland girl video, right? The 12-year-old girl got attacked, had a concussion, and it was another 14-year-old girl that had to stand up and be the quote-unquote man in the situation. And again, there's passerbys, there's people walking on by, and nobody thought to intervene, to stop, or to protect anyone for any reason. But again, that guy, after murdering Irena, goes and says, I got that white girl. I got that white girl. But don't make it about race. Don't make it about race.
Yeah, I forget which news channel was covering it, but there was a gentleman who said, I am trying to remember his quote verbatim, but he said something to the effect that the killer is the only one who brought race into this, and we should really try to remove race as a factor in this killing.
He murdered her, in his own words, because of her color.
Yes, but ignore that. According
No,
to
I know, but I understand the point you're making. But you know what? I'm just gonna. It's a racial issue, okay? It just is a racial issue, right? Yeah. What's the stat? 31. If you're a white person, you are 31 times more likely to be attacked by a black person than the other way around, despite the fact that these people make up like 6% of the population. So.
Yep.
All right, hey, look at this. Judge Teresa Stokes, who let career criminal DeCarlos Brown Jr. I love how these people name their children Junior, as if they're going to be around, as if they're.
No, it's a way to remember the father because he's not going to be there.
Because he's got
so
the
they
same
got to keep his name. Yeah.
He's not going to be around, but at least you know his name.
Yeah. So you know who to look after for when you turn 18. You go find him. Easy way to file child support payments.
So, Judge Teresa Stokes let out career criminal DeCarlos Brown Jr. out of a jail on written promise. Would you please come back to court? Please. That'd be so nice if you did. And then he murdered Rania Zarutska. Now, I can't show the video, obviously, but exactly 0 people in this. After this poor girl gets stabbed in the neck, freaking out, no idea what's going on, alone, dying by herself in her last moments of life, and everybody moves away. Not a single person moves in to help. Not a single person tries to stop it. Not a single person says anything. As she's bleeding out on the floor after she crumples onto the floor in a few seconds, just walk on by.
Well,
Like,
who would be
like
there
you're looking
to
at
do
a
anything?
like you're looking at a homeless person or like a dead animal. They're just like, I ruined my ride home.
Another reminder to carry literally everywhere all the time.
In this case, dude, it wouldn't have even mattered. Like,
No,
what
she was done.
Yeah.
The only thing that honestly could have helped her, which isn't even possible in this situation.
Should have just been a little bit more racist at the start of that ride and waited for the next
Well,
one.
listen, if you open the doors and this is what you see, you just don't get in. Because guess what? You'll catch the next one. You'll be all right.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, because realistically, no matter where she was sitting, if this person in his mind was like, I am going to kill this girl, there is 0 that you could have done. Because as we saw it, nobody tried to intervene. Nobody tried to help. Nobody came to her defense after they saw she got stabbed, crying, muffled screams, blood everywhere. They're just like,
No, they all want to follow
public
the leader
transit.
right out the door so they don't have to talk to cops later.
And yes, so this judge, Teresa Stokes, she owns a housing and mental health company that DeCarlos Brown was in and out of. That seems like a conflict of interest. So this person on the left also owns like a rehabilitation clinic for criminals. So instead of going to jail, instead of going to prison, you get to come to my place, and we'll just keep you coming in and out and in and out and in and out, so I get to collect the checks. As a judge, and I know people have been proposing the same thing, but I think perhaps you should be held responsible for what the people that you let out, whatever crimes that they commit. Maybe we have some sort of like 25%, 30%, whatever it might be, 50%, 100% of whatever their sentence is also goes to you.
No, just charge them directly as an accessory to the murder.
I just think that I know it's rough, guys. I know profit prisons, you don't like it or whatnot, but some of these people don't deserve to be alongside of us.
Well, and again, we're looking at 14 prior arrests, not sure how many convictions. At a certain point, you got to say, okay, you're not going to rejoin the general populace. You're just going to stay.
Well, no, at 14 arrests, she's looking at a repeat customer.
Well, in an ideal society, a judge...
Those don't exist.
Well, and here's the thing. Here's the thing. If you... Maybe my hot take, but if you commit like 3 to 4 crimes in a certain period, maybe it's just maybe we need to bring back like the 3 strikes and you're out rule, right? Where it's like you just don't get to be in society anymore. Like, sorry. You either get to...
no more career criminals.
Well, yeah,
it's not allowing it.
Okay, from a real perspective, what possible value does this person add to society other than the fact that he has to pay this judge for her rehabilitation clinic that she owns?
Nothing. I will sponsor, personally, buying a grand piano and dropping it off the 10th floor on top of this guy.
No, that's a waste
what
of good
would
Hawk.
actually sate the public's lust for blood, which is kind of what it is, and this is why it's almost therapeutic, is for people to have justice doled out in a public manner, is to publicly shoot him, publicly hang him, whatever it might be. Right?
I'd say so.
And she can get life in prison, but she should be disbarred, whatever it is. Get her out of here. Get out.
Bring back lynchings? Is that what?
No, I didn't say that. Richard, there are certain words that you need to be careful with. That's one of them.
We're not.
We think those thoughts. We don't say those thoughts.
I said hanging, which is a normal form of justice. Although, I mean, we were just at the 110th anniversary of, what was that, the Semitic guy's name that raped that girl and then tried to blame the black dude, and then the people, after the judge pardoned him, the people went in and executed their own form of justice. What was that guy's name? I want to say like Tolstoy. Was it Tolstoy? Leo Frank. That's the one. Thank you. Leo Frank. Yes. We just were at the 110th anniversary of that. All right. Okay. So people were wondering who was the third face? Who was the third face on the thumbnail? And I saw this story, and this person has gotten no news coverage whatsoever. And I find this gentleman, this father's story, just as tragic as the previous 2. And nobody's talked about it. Nobody cares as far as I'm concerned, but I care. And so Mr. Kevin Doherty was murdered by Massachusetts trans activists, arrested in fatal shooting of father after school drop-off just 1 day after Minneapolis trans massacre. Police in Shrewsbury, Massachusetts say a man was killed Thursday morning after confronting another man over graffiti at a local park. You can see this person here is graffitiing houses with GLM, BLM, Free Palestine, Free Congo. Surely
that's their own house. That is just their own house.
Right. Correct. But we're talking about the graffiti that's going on. So the graffiti is in the local park, but this is his house, right, that he's drawn the stuff on. And he drew the same stuff in the park, right? So graffiti at a local park. It has since been discovered that the shooting is trans-identifying male who has a criminal record. We'll get into the criminal record because that pops up again in a very similar way to the previous Aranya story. While officers were responding, dispatch advised that they could actually hear shots on the 911 call. When officers arrived, they located a victim, provided medical attention, and that victim was transported to a local hospital where tragically he died of his injuries. The victim, a 57-year-old man whose name has not been released, but we have it, was shot multiple times. He had just dropped off his 6-year-old child at school before encountering the suspect. The gentleman who was shot was returning from walking his 6-year-old child to school when he interacted with the man on the bridge. It appeared that the man was doing some type of spray painting, so graffiti on the bridge, and this gentleman was like, "Hey, we don't do that. You know, this is our public park bridge. Like, we don't graffiti here." He took a picture of the man, and then that started the altercation. Police later arrested the alleged shooter, identified on social media as Shasha Shakur, and legally as Snehal Ansh Shrivastava.
If I can't pronounce your name, leave. That's my official position at this point.
The residence was covered in graffiti with slogans including Free Palestine, Free Congo, BLM, GLM, and Ganga Gardens. A sign in the window of the house said that reads, Shasha Shakur also confirms the social media account username. And I'm not sure if this one here has the full thing, but the story of this man, a father of 3 who was scheduled to get married later this month, was fatally shot after confronting a man he saw spray painting graffiti on a bridge in Shrewsbury, Massachusetts. Kevin Doherty, 56, took pictures of 26-year-old Snehal Shrivastava, allegedly defacing the ground, and got into an argument with him shortly before 9 a.m. on August 28th, according to a report by Fox 25 Boston. The dispute escalated into a physical altercation, according to police. Doherty, who was walking home after dropping his 6-year-old son off at school, called 911 during the struggle. Dispatchers reported hearing multiple gunshots, and then Doherty telling them that he had been shot before the line went silent. Srivastava, who did not have a license to carry a firearm, was arraigned on 1 count of armed assault carrying a firearm without a license. Prosecutors later upgraded the charges to murder, and he was held without bail. Sarah Schofield, Doherty's fiancée, released a statement expressing her distress at her partner's passing.
Sarah
No one should ever.
Schofield. So, Steve? Just assuming that Sarah Schofield is also not Sarah.
What?
Never mind.
Okay. No one should ever endure the trauma of canceling wedding arrangements only to make funeral ones. This loss and the fractures it created are so severe it makes healing seem impossible. You know, one day you're walking your daughter to school, and you're walking back, and you see the crazy tranny activist spray painting on your local bridge, and you're like, hey, in Massachusetts. So he's probably like, hey, yeah, you can't be doing that here. It's a park. And then, you get killed for it, and you get to bleed out on the telephone with police officers. Congratulations. Now, like our previous story, an evil person machete attacked victims believes accused Shrewsbury killer should have been in prison because, he had been he'd been arrested before for a machete attack, and the judge was like, you know what? You get to not be in jail for the rest of your life. A man who was attacked with a machete 3 years ago is haunted by the tragic murder of an innocent father who had just dropped off his 6-year-old son at school. 6-year-old son, sorry. 26-year-old was arraigned on Friday on 1 count of armed assault to murder and 2 counts of carrying a firearm, but again, it got upgraded to murder. Boston News 25 has found that Srivastava has a violent criminal history dating back to 2018. You don't say. Many priors, huh? Now, 2018, 8 years ago, means that he was quite literally 18 years old when this started. Because he's 26 now, 8 years ago, 18.
That's when the records start.
That's when his record starts anyways. Who knows what was sealed before then. That includes a disturbing attack in a Regal Cinema parking lot in 22 involving a man who says he was attacked at random. He started circling my car, made several laps around my car. I had no idea who it was. I stepped out of the car. He tried running me over, said victim Nitish Sharma. Very Massachusetts-sounding name. He swung at me with a machete at his attempted murder. That should be, what, 15 years, 25 years, something like that. I grabbed the blade. He was swinging at my face. I said, I don't know you. I don't know you. As he's trying to kill you with machete. He should be in jail right now. That's an innocent person that died for no reason, said Sharma. The child did not deserve to lose a father, and that guy should be in prison. Simple as. Like, I don't get it.
Instead of giving these people bail, put them in the bailer.
Court paperwork cites failure to prosecute. Failure to prosecute a guy swinging a machete at another guy in a parking lot. That to me sounds like attempted murder. Like, pretty clear. And if let's say he just got 5 years in 2022, that means he wouldn't be out for 2 more years. And that father would be married with his 3 children and, not getting buried and forgotten about in national news in a couple days. Oh, look at this. Look at this. My prosecuting attorney wasn't even given a chance to defend me in court because his lawyer presented this psychologist expert report stating that he's unfit. Yeah, this fine young gentleman here is
unfit for society.
Well, if you're you just got to go away. It's time to put you in the asylum. Like, if you're criminally insane, if you can't be in society, it's time for you to go. It's time for you to go. And so the alternative is like, well, we can't like try them. They're unfit. So we're just going to release them so they can do the thing again.
If they're unfit. No, I'll leave it at that.
Court records show Srivastava underwent competency. I can't read that, so maybe I'm incompetent, huh? Evaluations 3 separate times. Srivastava was found in contempt of court at one point for not continuing to receive mental health treatment. He didn't just throw him away? He'd been sent to jail last month. Had he been sent to jail last month, that innocent family member would be alive right now. He would be spending his weekends with his kids like we are. He's an evil person who should be held accountable. Srivastava's criminal history includes the alleged assault and battery of a family member in 2018 and a home invasion involving a hammer in 2020. A machete attack in 2022, and then in 2025 he hit the big leagues and he finally murdered somebody with a handgun. But, so that's why I put him as the third head on the thumbnail, because I thought that was another important story to talk about.
And now, correct me if I'm wrong, but the police charged him with 2 counts of firearm possession?
I'm not sure if he had like 2 firearms or how that works. Listen, okay, just throw the book at him. Whatever it is, I don't care. Give him a freaking, jaywalking citation.
Throw a bus at him.
Yeah, literally throw him under the bus.
I'll be back. I gotta use the bathroom.
You're good, homie.
Don't fall in.
Sigatriga says, just pointing out, y'all are heartless sometimes. Yeah. No. The mentally ill man murdered a father of 3. And he got away with it because the judges and the court system refused to charge him. Yeah, that's us being heartless. Yeah, us wanting him to be alive and the murderer in jail or in an asylum. That's us being heartless. So now the left has this fake heartless, this fake like empathy, right? Where they're like, we gotta be equitable with our justice, okay? It doesn't matter that he attempted to kill somebody with a hammer in 2020 and a machete in 2022, and broke into his family's home in 2018. All that stuff's not relevant. We need to make sure that this man gets restorative justice and mental health, okay? And then when he eventually murders somebody, well, it's not our fault. We were just being kind. It's fake kind. It's faux niceness, right? You are being kind to the evildoer, which is cruelty to the innocent person. And in this case, the innocent person gets murdered by this person who should never have been a part of society in the first place. So you're going to call us heartless. All right. You know what I think? You know what I think is heartless is maybe something like this. Maybe this is just a little bit heartless as they all walk past her bleeding dead body. Maybe that's a little bit heartless. Maybe we're actually more concerned with the innocent person than you are. Very
Both of
interesting.
these individuals have mental health histories, and you cannot reliably count on someone who is not mentally or not all there mentally to take their medication. So at a certain point, to the asylum with them so they can get the treatment they need.
Yeah. They want compassion but give none. No compassion. I got that white girl. I got that white girl.
What's new?
Well, sheep herder. My entire family were moderate. Radicalized today. Not so moderate anymore. Central
Same
Sands
here.
Defense says the Charlotte stabbing is why guys are leaving LE. Arrest the same dirtbags over and over and over, but judges and prosecutors let them out again and again. But they'll go after you. They'll go after you. Remember that. If you try and defend yourself and your family, and you didn't, like, especially if you don't live in a castle doctrine state, like, good luck. Because they'll go after you. But yeah, no, I understand that, man. That's got to be frustrating because I mean, a lot of the cops, I imagine, are trying to do their job, but it's just, they do what they can, but unless it's permanent, it doesn't stick. Thank you, Ben. Moonman says, cringiest thing I've heard about all day is in response to the Kirk thing, someone wanting God to do something about it instead of anyone else. What cringiest thing I've heard all day is in response to the Kirk thing, someone wanting God to do something about it instead of anyone else.
That was
I'm not sure.
It's not our place to judge, and like God
Only
will
God.
do the things for us.
Yeah. Well, right, which is why I don't eat food, because I expect God to feed me. Like, no. You are required to do many things, many hard things in life.
God ultimately judges everybody, but it's pretty clear that we're also supposed to do things here on Earth.
Yes.
Many such stories in the Bible where he tests his servants, and other times, sometimes it's a spiritual test, other times it is more physical.
Let me pull this up real fast. Matthew 10:16 says, behold, I am sending you out as sheep in the midst of wolves. Be as wise as serpents and innocent as dove. You need to have real discernment. Ephesians 5:11 have nothing to do with the fruitless deeds of darkness, but rather expose them. Proverbs 31:8-9, speaking for those who cannot speak for themselves, for the rights of all who are destitute. Speak up and judge fairly. Defend the rights of the poor and needy. Isaiah 58:1 shouted aloud, do not hold back, raise your voice like a trumpet, declare to my people their rebellion, and to the descendants of Jacob their sins. Corinthians 6:2-3, or do you not know that the Lord's people will judge the world? And if you are to judge the world, are you not competent to judge trivial cases? Do you not know that we will judge angels? How much more the things of this life?
Real quick, just to add on to this, people forget that Jesus went into the temple, flipped tables, and whipped people. That happened.
Mm-hmm.
We don't tolerate sin around here.
It's where they block out all the text around, like, do not judge, and they're like, see, this is what the Bible says, but literally everything else around that one statement is blacked out. And it's like, well, yeah, but you can't read the Bible like that. It has to be holistic.
Quotes Gandhi. See what Jesus meant? Fuck you.
Sheepherder says, who opened the gates to let the Muslims into Spain? Well, I mean, what was that?
That was a very interesting group of people. They're where we get the word Semite from.
Well, there's many Semitic groups of people, okay? It's actually a reference to languages and not a people group, so I think you're using that term incorrectly. Bert says, yes, I ordered an upper from you, and I was being sarcastic about it being a troon. They catch them, then and there, when it's them, Charlie was a decent guy at worst. I'm sure Charlie was a good person. From all accounts that I've heard, he was a very good person. He just had beliefs that I disagreed with, which is, spoiler alert, I disagree with all of your beliefs. So, like, it's just a part of life. Elliot Windsor for 5 says, Democrat Fantasyland where dongs exist on women and your own murder is immediately blamed on you. Yeah, maybe you should take some accountability for your actions as you're bleeding out on the floor. Charles Chuck, member for 5 months, says, the fallen shall be forever remembered. Rest in peace, Charlie Kirk. Indeed. Lord Prism for 2 says, Sweetie Squad, rise up. Oh, sweetie. Stephen Shred says, that is a guy who finds peds. Oh, okay. Thank you. I didn't get the reference. Thank you. Tack Driver says, my favorite Charlie moment was when he told a pro-choicer that her argument was racist. Her point was that crime rate was down when abortion is legal.
Yep.
Coppertone says, Tango November Delta. Thank you, sir. Tristan Young for 5 says, I now believe I understand the feelings my parents felt when they watched the towers fall. Tonight, I pick up my Bible again. Many such cases, Tristan. And if you ever need any help in that regard, feel free to join the Discord. And we have an entire channel dedicated to that sort of thing. So, yeah, no, but I totally get it. It is a sobering event to be reminded so viscerally of your own mortality and the mortality of those around you and of the evil, the what's the word for it, the material evil that you're up against. Thank you, Tristan. Unknown Reloader says, I have wounded them that they were not able to rise. They are fallen under my feet. A man after the Lord's own heart. Yeah, people forget that David, who was one of the 2 people that was called a friend of God, very famous for conquering everybody around his nation. And he executed God's righteous judgment among the people. Absolute Moonman for 5 says, they say they aren't all like this, and that might be true. However, I don't actually care. God will recognize the good ones. I don't need to. Well, it's kind of an awkward argument because I totally get that mentality, but all of these problems could be done away with if we were more homogenous, let's say. Like if a culture is like 90 to 95% homogenous, then there isn't a large enough subculture to actually create these sort of problems, right? So it once the numbers start to split and you turn into Brazil or Venezuela or any of these other places where there is no actual supermajority ethnic group, like things get real spicy real fast. And it is just going to devolve into tribalism, as it always does.
We're at the 2
Always
hour mark,
has,
so you can get
always
a little
will.
blowier. Personally, I do think we were heading towards cultural homogenization, and this was not going to be as big of a problem, but the CIA started a generational run as a result of them needing to finance some other things, and we are seeing the consequences of that.
Generational run. That is one way to put it. Mr. Perdom for 5 says, I didn't mean we shouldn't seek justice, but that God will take care of his followers. Thanks for doing the stream. No, I totally get that, man. We do have to seek justice in this life, and it doesn't mean that there isn't places for mercy or anything else like that. Like famously, a inscription on a executioner's sword in the Middle Ages was, God have mercy on this person's soul. Right, because we have to execute justice, whatever this person has done that is worthy of this punishment, but we still pray for their salvation. right? And we still pray for their redemption. But we still have to execute justice, whether we like it or not, right?
Was I wrong that the executioner's sword, there was the phrase continued on the other half? On the one half said, "May God have mercy." The other half said, "For I shall not."
I mean, that maybe you could find one example of that, but the one that I read, I think today, was something that was, it was understanding the magnitude of the event. It wasn't petty. It wasn't anything like that. It was essentially like, may God have mercy on your soul, and find that sort of thing.
You pray for your enemies, but they're still your enemies.
Right, and when there are times to be kind to your enemy, like if you know somebody that's politically against you, but they need help in one specific way, that you can actually do something kind for them that won't result in the death of you and your family, right? It's like, oh, this person's struggling financially. Well, you don't sell your family's home to fund somebody else's life that's going to turn around and stab you in the back, right? That's not the point of that verse. But like the Good Samaritan, I think that's a great example. So a Samaritan who is ostensibly somebody that like a Israelite shouldn't touch, shouldn't hang around with, and so you think that would kind of be reciprocal, but he's like, I see somebody over there, they don't like me, but I'm still going to do the right thing. I'm still going to help them out. I'm still going to take care of them. And unfortunately, none of those individuals on the train car were being a Good Samaritan. Cotton Dogs says, just support Muskins, white people only know juice. All right. I like juice, okay? I'm a sucker for juice. I haven't even opened it yet, but I have a body armor right here. It's fantastic stuff. Michael Richardson for 5 says, and these are the same people that want reparations. The punishment should fit the crime. Listen, when we do the real math, and we talk about slavery versus bike theft, they actually owe us money. So in a weird way, I am for reparations. But only if we balance the books. Ray Polacost says, in times like these, remember, totally nice daily. Yes, we are always totally nice daily. Thank you, Ray Polacost. The Lightsport says, I don't want them in jail or an asylum, actually. Yeah, there's that episode 2 meme where it's, I think the prison system is overloaded. It's like they're both saying the same thing, but with very different intents. Stealth for 5 says, tomorrow is 9/11. After the recent events, I hope everyone stays aware. Culture enrichment is unfortunately everywhere. There are still some places in America where you can pretty much escape it. And I live in South Dakota, which is kind of one of them. Speaking of which, I know it is 9/11 tomorrow, but it's also my 3-year-old daughter's birthday. She's turning 3 tomorrow. And so we are going to celebrate with cupcakes, and we'll go to the park, and we'll have a great time. And yes, I will be carrying 100% of the time. Moonman from 5 says, my empathy stops when you stop being just a poor, mentally ill kid and then become my political and moral enemy. Well, and it's sort of, it's unpersonal in a way, right? So, let's take any war. Let's take World War I. If you're a French guy in the trenches lining up against the Germans, the person on the other side of your gun, it's very impersonal. So it's not like you hate them individually, because they might be there for what they view as just reasons. But that's irrelevant. You still have to do your job. Hugh M9 for 5 says, hoping this is the beginning of a genuine change in this country. Ephesians 6:12. I think was that the one I just pulled up? For we do not wrestle against flesh and blood, but against principalities, against powers, against the rulers of darkness in this age, against spiritual hosts of wickedness in the heavenly places. Yes. And I think that becomes very evident when you deal with people that are so evil, it almost relies upon some sort of demonic influence. Right? And so that is something that will actually force people into sort of a religious paradigm, is the confrontation of just such unhinged evil. Oh, my for 2 says, I will donate to Israel in Charlie's honor. All right, oh my, all right. Richard Johnson says, there's another channel live right now run by a 13% celebrating Kirk's death. Shitbags. Richard Johnson, if you are still in the chat, would you mind telling me what channel that is, that we might say hi to them? Richard? Moonman for 5. Good.
I was going to say completely unsurprising, especially with a lot of the videos we've watched on this stream.
Moonman says yes. Moonman says I would sign off on reparations if it meant I never saw one again, but we know it won't. Also, happy birthday. Well, thank you. I will tell my daughter that. Chud for 5 says I'm doing a 6.5 Grendel build for deer hunting. Is the Toolcraft BCG good enough? If not, any recommendations? Waiting for a Criterion Barrel TND.
Ask Hop. Hop will know. The real Hop.
Well, the Toolcraft is okay. It's okay. I think it's fine for a hunting build because you're not going to be shooting like 1,000 rounds through. You're going to shoot like 20 rounds through it a year probably. So I think it's going to be fine for you. Oh my says, please let the shooter be a troon over there on Ko-Fi. I have not seen any confirmation. Let me check Kash Patel again. Our DEI FBI in charge. Oh, that rhymed. And refresh. And he reposted. Well, I mean, that's it. So no, they're still looking. As far as I know, they're still looking for the murder. Timbo Crimbo for 2 says, is there an ideal EDC pistol size for day drinking? I don't know, Timbo. I would personally, if I needed to do day drinking for whatever reason, I feel like you would want
full size.
Just generic Glock 19 size handgun. Like if you're drunk, do you want to be manipulating a tiny handgun? Probably not, right?
John, the guy bashing Charlie Kirk on a live has a call-in number up available right now.
That's awesome.
Just remember, chat, you represent the entire community, so be on your utmost behavior.
What's the name of his channel?
It's a fine line between giving somebody you don't want to give any credit to attention and making them famous for all the right reasons, for all the wrong reasons.
Do you mind, Afro Elise?
Yeah.
Karma. He has 2,500 people watching him right now.
Especially the people who called in before. A ton of people on this live. All right. So
see the end towers.
Caller from area code 347. You're on live. What's your name? Where you calling? Where you calling from?
What's up, man? Yeah, I'm calling from New York. How you doing?
Oh, I'm good, brother. I'm good. Talk to me.
Yeah. Charlie FAFO. You heard? That's how I look at it.
Hey, I mean,
you know what that means?
He did. He found out.
The chickens came home to roost. They heard. I'm quoting Malcolm X. You know what I'm saying? Awesome. You can't give out bad energy and think that it can't come back to you. You know what I mean?
That's true.
You know what I'm saying? And that coon you was talking to, I call him a Mount Rushmore Sambo type. He Master gets shot. We all get shot. Nah, that's
Yeah.
I can't sympathize with that, man. You know what I mean? I like what you stand for. I don't 100% agree with you all the time, but neither did I with my mother and my father. But overall, I agree with you. And he got, I don't want to say too much because you got like 80 other people. I've been waiting about a half. But I just want to say this on the record. He FAFO, and I don't sympathize with that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You reap what you reap what you sow.
You reap what you
and
sow.
like I said, he had the nerve to say George Floyd didn't die from he didn't die from the cop being on his neck. He died from drugs. So he didn't die from he didn't die from that shot in his neck. He died from what came out of his mouth. That's all I'm gonna say.
It could have been poison. That poison that came out of his mouth. That's why he died. Hey, real talk. Appreciate that, brother.
Yeah, but listen, let me let your other, because I'm like real radical, and I don't want to say too much on this.
You don't say.
But I just want to say,
fuck this guy.
Keep doing what you're doing, and I'm just gonna watch from the sideline.
Appreciate that, brother. Thank you. Hey,
and I'm out.
Wait till these guys figure out that
Hey,
Nick Fuentes
it's
is
the poison. He was spewing anti-black poison.
Go-to for
and
young
it took him out.
conservatives.
Caller from area code 312. You're on live.
Hey, how's it going, Afro?
I'm good. How you doing, bro?
So I'm doing great. So my point of view about this.
All right, chat. I need you
a lot of,
all
I'm on
to type
code with
in
the other
his chat
callers
to
saying,
accept the call from 360.
He's spreading these divisive concepts of
Accept
hate
the
and black
call from
people and black
360.
crime, and they inflate these numbers and do all these data statistics, and he's not helping black people. He didn't help black people. He's not helping us. When they do this, I'm in education. They put black young kids all in one category, and it continues to foster this enduring legacy of black is last and black people are criminals and black people, like, I'm not with that. I mean, I'm not as familiar with his work, but I mean, like, there is a God. I'm not saying that it's okay for someone to get shot and die, but it's just like, what goes around comes around, and like you made a whole career, you made millions of dollars.
What around?
This is what comes from territory of being a politician.
His chat's blowing up, and he's realizing
your
it.
life and you're doing this. So I don't agree with his rhetoric, and he just happened to be there. Like, people are not taking these, like, social media. People are not want to hear this stuff, this racist stuff. And it wasn't even a black person that killed him. It was a white person, the one he was so trying to protect and he criticized. So, he had it coming to him.
Hey,
how
that's
does he
what
know?
happened.
How does he know it
He
was a white
was
person?
always focused
He's
on
retarded.
black violence. Now, if the races were reversed, it would be black on black crime. That's what Charlie Kirk would be saying. It would be black on black crime. So we're just going to put the situation into context. The same context he would put this in. Okay. And all of this, and I hate when people talk about, oh, he was telling the truth and all of this stuff. No, he's literally lying. He's literally telling artificial information and spreading propaganda to make the black community look dehumanized, to dehumanize the black community. Okay, that's what he's doing. It's not constructive criticism. It's not tough love. He's not doing this because he really cares about the black community, because this is the same community. When we do anything good, he'll say it's woke. He'll say it's DEI. He'll say a white person was supposed to get that job or that role and that position. That's what he'll say. So he doesn't want to see black success. He just wants to have an excuse to criticize black people. That's it. That's all.
There's a lot to criticize.
Just one last thing. Yeah, he wants us to conquer and divide. And I work in like research, and I go to one of the best universities in the country. They do these data. A lot of these tests are so biased, and they do this to spread that conservative agenda that black people are less and we're not nothing. But we always got to remember, like the last caller was saying, every time they destroyed and built something, we always came through. We don't keep pushing through. And we not going to just let no Charlie Kirk and no one stop us. So, I mean, don't take what they say serious. They are only for themselves, and they're just being raped. This is a damn excuse. Instead of fixing problems in their own
Only
community, they
for
always point to
themselves?
black people. Fix your problems at home. I'm pretty sure we got stuff that's going to come out that you don't know. White community is not perfect. And also, white people do more crime, like you said before. But thanks a lot, man. Keep doing. I'm disappointed you
ends
think
with an
like
R.
1 to 2 subscribers. I'm liking how you're doing.
Per
Keep
capita
pushing forward.
still
Appreciate that, brother. Appreciate your support. So one of my day ones right there. Appreciate that. All right.
Thank you, brother.
Appreciate that. All right. Hey, that's true. They commit more crimes, and all of this crime stuff. You pathologizing crime. As he was trying to pathologize and racialize black crime, he became a victim of white crime. But if that's not, if y'all don't believe in God, I don't know. If that's not God, man, call.
All right, guys. Do we stick it out? Excuse me. Do we stick it out so I can get on and ask him about anti-black stats, or do we call it a night here?
I think we're committed at this point.
He was doing
that's
it.
up to you guys.
He was doing it gleefully
I need to
the point to where it was.
I gotta go to
almost
work
like
tomorrow.
He was
All right, well,
happy
Dake, if
about
you
the
need to
talk
hop off, you can hop
about
off,
it.
bro.
He made money.
I
off of
fully
it. He got
support
publicity
calling
off
in
of
and
it.
saying
So
I'm
now
still on the
they
line.
come
I'm still
back
on
upon
hold.
him. You know what? I'll offer up a
Thugging it out.
a
Thugging it
bigger
out.
irony.
It could take a half
I
hour.
was
The last
on,
guy took
the
a half
Ron
hour.
B's
But hey,
channel
Dake, I
today,
appreciate you, man. Have a good
and,
night.
Yep, nope.
I
I
said one
gotta go to
thing.
work.
I said the biggest irony about all of this
Right before I
is
go,
that he was, because the one B brought
Pray
up
for his
about him
family.
shitting all over Martin Luther King.
Protect yourself.
You know what
Protect
I'm
your
saying? He
family.
did shit on
Stay
Martin Luther
safe.
King.
Stay
But
prepared.
what I found more irony,
Have a
what
good
I
one.
find more ironic about
Night,
this
Dank.
whole thing is while he was shitting on Martin Luther King, he wound up dying from a bullet to the neck, just like Martin Luther King did.
Mm.
You see what I'm saying? And so my thing is this. It is like Malcolm X said about the chickens coming home to roost. But what Malcolm X also said was after JFK got pew-pewed, you know what I'm saying? He said the violence and the evil that they put out in the world has come back to claim one of their own. And so that's
Yeah.
exactly what's just happened here. You know what I'm saying? This man was, and it sucks for his family. And honestly, you know what I'm saying? It's not something that we sitting up here gloating about, you know what I'm saying? Because
Except it is.
we know that, we got a bunch of truth tellers out here in the black community, and all of them have gotten shot telling the truth. Malcolm X got killed telling the truth. You know what I'm saying? All Medgar Evers, all of our greatest minds, the people, the better parts of the better people of us, they all got killed telling the truth. So my thing is this. He you know what I'm saying, he went to a place where it was 90% white people out there, you know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
And
Sounds like a paradise.
and that's what wound up getting him in the end. You know what I'm saying? After all of this. So that's the whole irony behind this whole thing. He died from a bullet to the neck the same way Martin Luther King did after shitting on Martin Luther King. And was trying
Martin
to
Luther
put
King was a
campaigns together
womanizer.
to pretty much
Very
discredit Dr.
violent.
King after the man was already gone for decades. And
So
Yeah,
because somebody
land
does
there.
something bad, we can't talk about it after they die. Is
Yep,
that
that's
what,
true. Thank you.
is that what he's
Thank you,
saying
brother.
now?
That's true. That's true.
Yes, sir.
Appreciate that call, brother. Appreciate your support.
Yes, sir, for sure.
That's
John,
true.
you should put on your best
Talked
urban
about Dr.
accent.
King, and then now look what happened. And here's the crazy part about it. You and Dr. King ain't going to the same place.
Nope.
Yep. All right,
Nope.
brother. Appreciate your call.
And, all right, brother. Yep.
All right.
Did
Caller
he
from
just say
area
Dr.
code
King went to hell?
202. You're on live. What's your name? Where you calling from?
Certain
This is
black
Jay
people
from
don't like
DC. How you
MLK.
doing, brother?
Brother Jake, what's going on, brother?
Same old. I just wanted to say, Charlie has just became another victim in America's monomaniac, white-on-white crime. And to Wayne, my guy, I find it hard to believe that you use common sense about anything, because it isn't common for any black person to commit mass murderings, school shootings, mall shootings, grocery store shootings, or a movie theater shootings. So you going out, you taking your gun when you go out because of black people is insensible at all. And I'll land my plane.
Hey, appreciate that, brother. Hey, yep. We're not doing that. It's always some moral thing and they're righteous and all of that. No, yeah, okay. Hey, I respect that. I respect that. You don't want to talk about, he didn't want to focus on white-on-white crime, and he should have. Because Charlie Kirk might be alive if he paid less attention to the crime in the black community and more attention to the crime in his own community. He might still be alive. Who knows? Who knows?
I have to be very candid with you. I think this is still going to happen because you just can't stop them criminals. It's just they're born criminals. It's like they're born to be criminals.
Brother, do you think it's because of the low IQ? I kind of think it's because of the low IQ that they have.
Yeah, to be very candid with you, Afro, I think it's because their IQ is so high that they just can't grasp common sense to do anything productive with it. So they resort to crimes, and, hurting people, everyone they come in contact with. I think it's just they were just inherently criminal. That's it.
Yeah, it's something. It's probably just something genetic. It's a genetic defect.
Yeah.
They can't help themselves. They can't help themselves. They were born that way.
It's just right. It's just their culture. They just was born in that kind of culture where crime is just normalized.
Mm-hmm.
And I just think the National Guard should really step in and do something about this.
Yeah,
I'll
we,
land my
we have
plane.
to. Because as civilized people, you and me, Jake, as civilized people, we shouldn't have to be victimized and be soft on crime when it comes to them. Just because they're born that way doesn't mean we have to be victims. I mean, something has to be addressed. Something has to be done.
They're talking about their own
Has to.
community, right?
Right. It isn't fair. It isn't fair at all to the rest of us. We're just good citizens trying to live out our lives,
Unfortunately,
trying to
no.
enjoy our lives in a safe environment, and yet we got to fear our schools being shoot up, our grocery stores, you know, us walking down the street, we're being attacked by these vicious thugs.
Mm-hmm. Hey, that's true. Well, I mean, I guess another one who's promoted it is gone, so we might be living in a safer world
Good night.
today. I don't know.
Yes,
We'll see tomorrow.
I agree. Good night, Afro.
Oh no, don't end it. Don't end it. Did he end it?
I think he is.
Hello?
I think he saw chat getting spicy and called it a night. He realized that there were potentially some
Hello, hello.
malactors in there.
Yeah, he's done.
But hopefully,
I don't know. Okay.
Oh.
Boy, I don't know what that was about. I'm sorry, y'all. I
Oh,
don't know.
okay. I don't know. Okay. Boy, I don't know what that was about. I'm sorry, y'all. I don't know what I don't know. I don't know what that was about. Man, hold on. Let's wow. That's something else. I don't know what that was about. They just kicked me out the thing. Okay then. All right, I guess. But wait, hey, we still back in that. We still back at it. Okay. We back like we never left, y'all. So let's continue. Okay, let's get to don't know what that's about. That's why y'all need to be hitting that like button. Okay. Caller from area code 51510. Gonna be here for a little bit.
Hi, my name is Shane.
Your name is what?
Hi, my name is Shane.
Shit, I thought they actually went to me because I
Okay,
started
what's
hearing
on
his
your
voice come through. I was like, oh damn, it's me. I'm on.
Yeah,
But no, I'm not
you're
on.
doing a
Damn it.
good job. I like the channel.
Damn
You
it, I
speak for me. But one thing I like to say, when you literally set out to F somebody, you wind up effing yourself. But he did take one for the team. So I thank you.
I appreciate that. Hey, that's true.
Are they all high?
That's true. Well, I appreciate that call, brother. But we gotta be honest. Hey, he stood on it. At least I will give one thing, give credit where credit is due. He died on what he believed on. It's unfortunate that was pure evil, but you know, he did die on it. Caller from area code 708. You're on live. Caller from area code 708.
Afro, is that you?
Yeah,
Ray.
it's me.
Oh, what's up, bro? This CRU reality.
Oh, CRU was good. What's good with you, bro?
Yeah, I met you in the city before, man. What's up, bro?
Yeah. What's up with you? Good to see you again. Good to hear you again.
Look. Hey, look. Are we worried about Trump coming out here?
I think Trump needs to be focused on other things right now. I'm not worried.
Right. We could walk around the city all day, right? We just got our IDs or whatever, right? We're cool.
Yeah.
We been had IDs.
They finally
since
figured
we
out how to get
15,
ID.
12. You know what I mean? Like, we're cool. And what's that? ICE don't have no jurisdiction on us, right?
No. Yeah.
Because we're niggas from Chicago.
Man, this is painful. But I do want
It
to talk
is.
to him. I just want to ask him a couple questions, okay? Just a couple of questions.
Going somewhere. We
someone
ain't got
really
no
needs
problem.
to save this
All right,
VOD
so,
so we can just have a compilation of all these
let me
takes
one
that
thing.
will
I
age
just
like
I know.
milk.
All right. So I got
The
no.
milk that his
Kurt-
dad went out to get.
Charlie Kirk was saying gang violence and got hit in the chin and out his neck. Beesh. That was bad in public. But he was saying gang violence, right?
Mm-hmm.
Second thing, I don't like he's a white supremacist. I would rather argue with him than him get hit, right? We don't condone violence over here, except in self-defense. You know what I mean? So we'd rather cuss Charlie Kirk out and roast him in his white supremacist rather than him getting hit, right? But since he got hit, that's the universe working. You get me?
I feel you.
And then the last point, okay, see, because I'm nervous even talking to you. I was nervous when I met you. Like you even said, debating is a different thing. It's a whole different thing. You got to train to debate. So, like, I even got
Oh, I
no
look
just
away
to
for a
talk to
second.
you.
What is that profile
And
picture?
I'm older than you by like 10 years, but I'm still nervous talking to you. But shout out to you. You get me? But you're on point. Keep doing what you're doing. I kept my notes. But, hey, thank you, Afro. And I'm done. I land.
Appreciate that, brother. Appreciate that. And this is what I'm saying. Charlie Kirk is not no genius. Charlie Kirk goes to people, and let's be honest, a lot of the people who speaking, if there's a clip of Charlie Kirk getting owned or debunked, he's not going to post it. All of the clips from the college campuses are posts that Charlie clipped up. He clipped those things up. So of course he's going to select the ones that make him look the best. But yeah, if you go to somebody who's unprepared to debate you, yeah, it's going to make it your argument seem like that much better and smarter, but it's not. So that's a good point, brother. Thank you. Appreciate my Chicago family. Let's make sure we get some more of these calls in real quick. Get a few more in. Let's get to 718.
Hi again. I'm back. I'm 80 years old, and I call you anointed. You never put on your website how to donate, and you know our seniors have problems with navigating the system. What I want to point out to you, and I'm going to make it real clear, when he was putting out all this very demonic talk, you never know who you're reaching. And in my lifetime, I've never had the relationships, but white men will fall in love with black women and they don't stop trying to get them. And it's hard. So now you don't know who you talking to. This man could have had a black family, a black wife. And I remember back in the day when the KKK came and marched in New York, there were men, white men with white robes with them, and beat their ass bad for their black wives. So now you don't know if that child was a man was a tragic mulatto whose mother was black. You don't know, because that could have been a crime of passion in the fact that this is my family, and we all know that just like this man, Charlie Kirk, had his family, he would protect his family. Now this man is talking to an unknown audience that he doesn't know who they are, because we're cosmopolitan like that. I'm black all the way, but I'm just saying, I know how they are if they fall in love with you. And just like Mark Anthony, maybe it didn't turn out right with Cleopatra was black, but I believe, and I was saying, or I'm going to say, the question should be, who was that man? And if he did have a black family, a black wife, and black children that he felt compassion to protect, realizing all the lies that's being told, because we know lies are lies. Even they know they're lying. So I'm not going to say much, but I'm just going to say this much. We have to think more about what motivated this man to kill him. Now, it may not come out like that, but there's a lot of black white men married to black women with black families. And I happen to know one white man that married one of my, he said he wouldn't have it no other way.
Yeah, I'm gonna let you land your plane. I'm gonna let you land your plane because I really gotta get to some of these other callers.
Yes. But I just want to make that point that could have been a bullet with a black woman's name on it.
Thank you. That's deep. Thank you. All right.
Grandma needs to take her meds.
Okay. Anybody know what that's about? Then tell me. All right then. All right. Caller from area code 267.
Afro Elite,
What's on your mind?
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear
This
you.
is Curtis in Philadelphia. It's
Curtis,
in Philadelphia.
I was waiting on you, Curtis. I was waiting on you, Curtis.
Yeah. When I first heard I was Charlie Curtis, man, he's a nut. But I just want to say this. See, one thing about the devil is not president. You understand? The devil is not president. And another thing that he got shot in Utah City. That's the headquarters of the Mormon Church. Since I guess, because Utah, I guess about maybe like almost 80% everybody's Mormon. It's saying, but like I said, people hate, man. This is what happened. And another thing that when he talks to a lot of young college students, and their minds they develop yet far, because most of them look white. They don't know really too much about our history, what these people did to our ancestors and what they're doing today. You understand? But the thing
This
is,
guy's rambling worse than the granny was, and I bet he lets him continue to go on.
He calls them to sin, and the Bible says that if you cause any of these little ones to sin, you might as well take a millstone around your neck and throw yourself into the depths of the sea, because the kingdom of heaven belongs to little children. And he can't, and Candace Owens and all them, they can't keep going around there poisoning these young kids with their rhetoric, with their hate. And like you said, that hate came back on him. You understand? Because what you put out, it's going to come back, especially if it's not true. You understand? So what he was really doing, he was really lying to the future. And the future is the kids, because without the kids, we won't have no future. You understand? So like I said again, Afrobeat, man, God bless
Do we
you,
have
brother.
any other
And like I
topics
said,
to
get a
cover
chance,
while we
listen
wait
to
for
my
you
pastor. I tell
to
you
get
guys
on the
first one
line?
in Chicago, man. Pastor Geno Jennings, brother. Okay, God bless you, man.
Chat
And
is
keep up the
seeming
good work, okay?
impatient.
Thank you, brother. Thank you. Let's be honest.
Okay.
Charlie Kirk got a lot of blood on his hands. He does.
Yeah, he does.
Yeah, it's his own.
He got a lot of blood on his hands. But appreciate that, brother.
Okay, you have a blessed day, man, okay?
You too. All right.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, we still got it. And first off, can I give a special shout out to the damn mods? My mods is in here battling these trolls. My mods is going left and right. They sitting up there knocking them out. Okay, they're going blow for blow with these trolls. My mods is on 10 right now. Shout out to them. My mods ain't playing no games tonight. All right. We're gonna get to I think we'll get to like a couple more. We'll get to a couple more because it's just I got well over 100 people on the line, and I can't get to everybody. I really can't. So I'm gonna get to some of the people.
I hope he does.
That's been waiting for a minute, and then we're just gonna keep it up like that. All right, caller from area code 910.
Yeah, hello, Afro. How you doing?
I'm good. How you doing?
Yeah. Hey, first of all, good on what you were talking about earlier as it relates to your other platform. So as this situation relates to Charlie Kirk, look, honestly, if he had some constructive, so what he does is, or what he did as it relates to black people is, he tried to, well, I'm going to criticize black people. I'm going to call out issues and problems. I'm going to do it in this idea, with the idea that I'm helping them and I'm doing all of this other stuff, and it's going to be constructive and it's going to help them become better people. So here's the thing. The thing is that that was not his intent. His intent basically was just, look, I'm just going to identify issues and problems that I think, black people can improve on, but without providing nuance and context and how those problems actually started. And what happens a lot of times is when you start asking questions, those problems can be traced back to some government policy, some action, some type of sabotage, just something that was done by somebody else to kind of help get to that point. So when he talked about black people in crime, and that's one of his favorite topics, his thing was, well, 13% of the population commits 50% of the crime. Okay, so that's always that right there is an outright lie. And basically his statement was the reason he would say that is to just kind of, to paint all black people as criminals instead of actually being more accurate with, okay, it's a small percent, and then, try to actually drill down into what's actually going on with that small percent. So instead of just, focusing on that, he's blaming all black people. I actually had the chance to kind of, he was at one of the colleges. I actually not linked up with him, but I, stood in front of him and went back and forth with him. I talked to him about that statement he said about black pilots, about how I hope they're qualified. And then he's talked about, black people getting into college, with lesser scores. And I challenged him on that. He talked about black fatherless. I challenged him on that. The thing is that, and you are right, when you actually hit them with stats and studies and, with legitimate agencies that actually have done all of these studies and actually present information, it messes them up. And basically, he kept trying to change the subject. He kept getting flustered. So he's not as good as he's not alive anymore. But, when he was doing all this nonsense, you're right. When he runs into somebody that knows what it is they're
Remember what these people think about you, by the way. Remember. There's 2,000 people watching him right now. Remember.
and whine and complain about black people and what
I think
their
about
supposed
200
issues
of them
are,
came
ignoring
from
all
our
the
chat.
issues and problems in his own community.
Yes. Yep, exactly.
Yeah.
And if he
But
was to focus more on
yeah,
ending the evil in his community, he'd probably be alive today. You know what I'm saying? But he wanted to focus on not even ending anything in the community, in the black community. He just wanted to highlight it to make it seem like his community was better. And okay, now we see. I think my community ain't killed me. I'm alive today. My community has not shot me. That's all I'm gonna say.
I'm glad he had.
Yeah, exactly. And not only that, but again, you got to get to the root of the actual problem. If black people and crime is such a problem, okay, so how did it get like that? What's the issue and problem? What are we going to do about? Like he missed so many opportunities to actually help solve problems, but basically he just gets there and whines and complains.
Yep, that's
and
true.
basically just dumping on black people, and that's not solving anything.
That's true. That's true. But I'm gonna let you go, brother. I'm gonna let you go. I
All right,
gotta
man.
get to some of these other callers. Appreciate you. Appreciate that. Yeah, he didn't want to solve anything. He didn't. That's the truth. The truth of the matter. He didn't want to solve anything. Nothing at all. Let's get to caller from area code 215. My fault.
Hello?
Yes, area code 215.
Hey, you go back for me. Shout out to your platform.
Oh my
I'm gonna
God!
make this short and brief. I'm not gonna make light of the situation with Charlie
Smoke
Kirk,
another
okay?
pack of Newports, lady. Jesus,
Bro, what is this person even saying? What the heck?
She's saying I need more Newports.
Black crime. To me, this sounds like a projection of guilt of what their ancestors did to ours. The only thing I'm gonna say is this: the chickens came home to roost, and this ain't the end; it's just the beginning. Woe to those that say good is evil, and evil is good. And I went right there. Just the beginning.
I'm gonna say, you live by the sword, you die by the sword, right? You live by the sword, you die by the sword. Okay. Karma is something else, ain't it?
Yep.
Ain't it?
Oh man.
All right.
Ugly.
But let me
I'm sorry that happened.
But I appreciate that.
No problem. Okay.
Yeah, let me get to I get to one more call because we got literally I can't get to over 100 people here. Can't do it. Sorry. But let me get to because and then we still got another live stream tomorrow, y'all. So I guess we gotta have to do another call-in thing tomorrow just so people can talk because there's so much people want to say. Caller from area code 773.
Hello, Afro. This is Patrice from Chicago.
Hey, Patrice, how you doing?
I'm doing okay. I wanted to call in because I wanted to just say I believe the Holy Spirit and the ancestors are working real good right now. And the other thing I wanted to say was everybody was talking about the killing in Chicago, but they never find anybody. They can't figure out who did what. And we got these drug cartels in our neighborhood because I'm on the South Shore area. And I'll say white people
Are
driving
they
our
deleting
neighborhoods
super
to
chats
drive
that say "Rest in peace, Charlie"?
Being unmarked cars.
It would
the
appear
black
so.
immigrants do crime against us because they jealous.
Holy shit!
And we got a bunch of illegal immigrants and these turncoats. And I'm like, I just watching the Holy Spirit getting all of them.
Hey, they need to understand that this time we're
I
very
don't think you're gonna
protected
get
around
on. He
this
said
time.
this was the last
They need to
one.
understand
Yeah.
that. They need to understand that there's some
Yeah, and I
I
think
don't.
a
I
lot
don't.
of
I
people
think.
calling
I
it
think he's
different
got his
things, but
headphones
regardless of
off.
what you want to call it, how you want to look at it, it's protection. And the people who are
and I
against us are
think
getting knocked off.
delineation was good for us. Yeah, I think we need to delineate. I'm 100% on that.
Mm-hmm. That's
Thank
true.
you for listening to me.
Of course, and I appreciate your call, my Chicago family. Thank you.
All right.
All right.
Love you.
Love you too. All right. Hey, look, we're gonna have to pick this up at another time. We are gonna have to pick this up at another time. Y'all just make sure y'all call back tomorrow. And some of y'all, I'm gonna make sure that I see, because I recognize some of y'all numbers because y'all have called before. So I'm gonna have to get y'all at another time.
Someone mentioned you.
I
in
can't be
chat
on here
focus,
for 4
and
hours.
I think the mods auto banned you before you had even typed anything.
All right, they disconnected it. They hung up on me. Gosh dang it, I am sorry for all of your dude, yeah, no, they're evil people. Like objectively evil people.
Make sure
talking
we
about
save that VOD so we have a record of it.
just disgustingly evil people. Disgustingly evil people wishing death upon people like me and you. We were asking for it. The Holy Spirit was involved in Charlie Kirk's murder because they didn't find the person. What evil, disgusting humans. But remember, your enemies are ontologically evil and anything you do to them is justified. Yeah. Well,
Moon Man,
Artemis...
Sorry.
Good. No, I was going to say, Artemis, at least you had extra IQ points to lose. Some of those callers, not so much. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Oh, shoot, I ain't for man. You don't think God, man.
Moon Man, do you know the person who is responsible at the CIA for Homeland Affairs? Because they have been doing an excellent job, and they really deserve a raise because it's paying off.
All right. Well, guys, you guys were incredibly supportive to try and get me to stay on, but I've got to go now. But I am going to get through all of these and hang out with my wife and daughter. Melissa Demeanor says, Moonman on the long nosers. I've heard that as well. Indeed. Many stories about the long nosers. I can't tell if his face looks like this because he's retarded or because he too is struggling with his collars. I think it's a little bit of both. I mean, he's obviously like I would consider him an evil individual.
Dude, if you had to
Ghostface
listen to that for however many hours a day, I'd be retarded too.
Imagine being raised by those people. Ghost Paints for 2 says he's having a bruh moment right now. Really? Thank you, Ghost Paints. Moonman, on behalf of the degenerate anime Avi, have her oh my from the Discord that everyone hates. I will fund this stream until you get on, inshallah. Well, I appreciate your valorous attempts to get me on. I tried. Chud for 2 says, yeah, don't let 90% of them make the 10% look bad. Yeah, that's more like it. Melissa Meter says, focus, Dad. I love you, but I'm over this clown. Me too. Thank you, Melissa Meter. Breaking Moto says, I'm paying for you. Stay invested in this. I saw that one come by, and I'm like, well, look at these fucking Nappas, dude. Judgment Day. They're happy about it. They're so happy about it. Ignore him. You represent the community. Be on your... I was going to ask him. I was going to get to some interesting questions. I was going to drop a Nappa in there and see if he asked what a Nappa was, and then I could explain that he's a North American pavement ape. But that didn't work. Moonman for 2 says, you better stay on, you fool. I tried. He's reading his supers now, just like what I'm doing. Timbo Crimbo for 2 says, I'm confused. Do I day drink carrying a Glock 19 or 17? I would say a 19 just because it's easier. Logan Sucks at Shooting says, please stop giving this Nappa the time of day.
Sunlight is the best disinfectant.
Indeed. Expose
that's
their...
why
and
they have
also to my
melanin.
audience that watches this, like, this is the type of people that you're up against. These people do not care about you, they hate you, and they will celebrate the death of you and your family. When, like you see them in the chat saying, ha ha, stained red, when you're bleeding out in front of your family, they will celebrate your demise. Zach Tiller for 2 says, it's not the dog, it's the owner. Maybe it's both. Timbo Crimbo becomes a new member. Hey, appreciate it, man. Thank you, sir. Moonman for 5 says, reminder, they think you are evil and wish ill on you. When we goose step over them, don't feel bad. I'm struggling. You don't seem to be struggling. Focus, make sure you put on a black accent. Dude, I thought about that. Like, do I come in like, hey, dog, man, you know, I'm your friend from Chicago. I don't know how to do an accent. Do I sound
You could have
retarded?
given me the pass and just let me go.
Well, I was like, do I drop a soft A, like conversing with him to convince him that I'm like one of his, you know? Moonman for 2 says, I wish Kirk was the hyper Nazi they think he was. Again, this generic conservative celebrating his death. Chud McGill says, how the fuck are these guys the same race as us? They're not. They're objectively a different race. Jiminy Flickens for 2 says, base like an upside down pyramid. Yeah. Ghost Pains for 5 says, these are some of the most room temp IQ voter takes I've ever heard. Voting as a right was a terrible idea. Real. Melissa Demeter says, just saw Kyle in chat. Shout out, Kyle. You're gay, but we love you. We like Kyle. I saw Kyle showed up as well. Moonman for 2 says, whoa, is he saying the Mormons took him out? Yeah. You know, like, Utah is like the Mormon capital, and like there's Mormons everywhere. So like obviously these are white people, just a white on white violence. Wow. Moonman for 5 says, shaking my head, I'm going to swing back around from hating Kirk to liking him out of spite for these gentlemen. Madden Williams says, live by the Glock switch, die by the Glock switch. Accurate. As guys did, they will still blame black people for their own community deleting Charlie Kirk. He called out gangs just to be uninstalled by his own. Well, yeah, but that doesn't change anything about black on black violence. Or actually, the statistic that I was going to pull up for you guys was this one. I was just gonna ask a couple questions, okay? I was just gonna ask a couple questions about some crime statistics that I have on hand. You know, just see how they deal with it. See if maybe we can get some racist math on here.
They just claimed that it wasn't reported because for whatever reason they would then become the victim. Police would victimize them if they tried to report it.
Strap W Stop for 2 says they blocked me from Super Chat.
I seen that come through. He said,
disgusting
"Rest in
people,
peace."
they are lost. True. Rest in peace, Charlie. And they blocked you for that.
The
Really?
mods-
I need to hear what he says.
He funded it. He used his money and his time and his resources and his clout and notoriety to harm the black community. So, hey, if somebody says rest in peace, Charlie. Well, I mean, thanks for the cash app though, or super chat, I guess. All right, Prince. Majestic. He said,
can
"Stay
somebody-
on code." That's all we got.
I got you.
Can somebody type in there and say how much for a talk with Focus Strip? Moonman for 5 says, I'm simply out here reminding you, as your resident Glowy, you should, and it would be funny. All right, Glowy, we got you. Bert for 2 says, that reminded me of Down syndrome kids with tude. They got that attitude. On Ko-Fi. Let me see here. Pabst Blue Ribbon says, these Nigers are absolute lolcows.
I think they just deleted my comment.
What'd you say?
I said, how much for a chat with Focus Trip? I can make it happen.
Can somebody ask in chat how much for a chat with Focus Trip?
Oh, did I do it in the wrong chat? Fuck,
Do it in
I
their
did.
chat. Did you
I'm
do
a
it in our
retard.
chat?
I have 2 windows open and I'm watching the same stream on 3 different. I am retarded.
Richard, you fool.
Fuck. Let me do it again.
Chud says black women acting like they need to worry about grape. Breaking Moto says, God bless Charlie Kirk.
I am retarded.
I'm banned on 6 accounts. Wow. Richard almost qualified to call in. Damn. I'm trying to see.
Waiting. Richard, are you still interested in that AAC 556 that I have to pull it apart?
Not
Still
right at
timed
this
out. Damn it.
moment.
Come on.
It's gonna be probably a couple months before I have time to mess with anything like that.
All right.
Where'd it go?
Did somebody... Are you banned? I didn't see it pop through. Can somebody ask how much? I'm banned on 3. Damn. Also banned.
Post the stream
Damn.
link.
Their stream link, I could put it in our private chat.
Yeah.
There it is. Damn, I'm banned. I'm banned. Wow, okay. Fix your own problem. Stop being a victim. That's about to go away. You are going to hell. That's probably about to go away. Oh, here we go. How much dollars to chat for a chat with Focus Trip? Come on.
That was the last things he
$100,
said.
10 minutes. Let's do
Okay,
it.
was in defense of somebody talking about white violence. Charlie Kirk picked up his microphone to start talking about black violence and was killed by a white man. What is that?
You don't even know that yet, though.
What is that?
You're lying. You're lying.
I'm telling y'all, it's a different era. It's a different time. It's a different era. It's a different time.
Still on
You guys
timeout. I'm
cannot
also
go
on
after the
timeout.
Chosen and not expect to get caught.
The Chosen?
And the
Oh, is he a
craziest
black
part about
Hebrew
that,
Israelite? This would be even more
it wasn't
fun.
even us who
Even
did it.
more fun.
It wasn't even one of us who did it.
Oh, it's definitely a
It
different
wasn't
era.
even one of us who did it.
Well, we don't. We don't.
And
We
there's
don't
so
know.
much I got to talk about. There's so much we got to. It's so much. It's so much. That's crazy.
Charlie's last
That's
words
wild.
were Grak.
Let me get a shout out to the Cash App. Shout out to Dexter. To Walla. I appreciate that. Dexter. Hold on. Somebody saying Charlie Kirk ain't dead. She seen him at a Cracker Barrel. Look, he's eating his what do they be eating? He's drinking his mayonnaise or something like that. And it's coming out as,
How
let's
much
not.
a brother gonna donate to get this
I'm
wife
doing
boy
too much,
Focus
right?
Trip on? That's
Am I
funny.
doing too much if I say he's drinking mayonnaise and it's coming out the side of his neck down the shirt? That's doing too much. That's doing too much. That's doing
Wow.
too much. Let me not even do that now. Let me not do that. Let me not go there now.
Talking
Let
about
me not
karma.
do that.
All right.
But you
All
just
right.
did it.
Shout out to Andrea. Shout out to Latrivia. Shout out to Walter. I appreciate y'all. AB, I appreciate you for the cash ups. Look, come on. Somebody say he's choking on his own blood. Ooh. You know what's interesting about this? Charlie
Can't
Kirk
wait to see your
said
video when you get yours. Ouch.
George Floyd didn't die because of Derek Chauvin.
Well, he died because
George
he was,
Floyd died
fentanyl. He had a
because
lethal
of
dose of fentanyl in the system.
What did
Black Hebrew Israelite
George Floyd say before he died? He said, "I can't breathe because a knee
He said it right.
was in his
Breathe.
neck. A knee was on his neck." And George Floyd said, "I can't breathe." And now Charlie Kirk can't breathe because a bullet went through his. Poetic justice.
Wow.
A knee on the neck.
Wait,
took out
for
George
somebody else
Floyd.
entirely. Poetic
Charlie Kirk
justice. All
mocked
right.
that, denied that, justified that, laughed about that, and now it's a bullet through his neck. You can't say this. This has got to be a high power. Come on now.
Wow.
That's
yeah,
just too
God
divine.
Killed Charlie
It's too
Kirk.
divine.
Evil
divine.
people. Evil people.
But this is still
Although,
breaking news that
for a black
apparently
Hebrew
the person
Israelite,
is still at large right now.
Like, I mean, they're
So
God's
we're
Satan,
still they
so, I
still
mean, it
don't
might
know
actually
about the
check out for their
motive
higher
or whatever
power.
the case is. There's still some stuff I gotta to figure out. But we will be back tomorrow. I'm an evil person. I'm not the one who shot Charlie Kirk. I'm just saying what happened. Charlie Kirk did what he did, and he got what he got. He did what he did, and he got what he got. Okay. But with that being said, family, if you guys are new to the channel, okay, y'all need to make sure that y'all subscribe. That's what y'all need to make sure y'all doing. Subscribe to the channel because this is a channel of Black empowerment. Okay, this is a channel of real justice. This is the channel that promotes real justice and real, because justice is Black empowerment. Black empowerment is justice. So if you guys believe in actual real justice, not Charlie Kirk's justice, real justice, real Black empowerment, y'all want to make sure y'all subscribe. If you guys want to make sure you don't
Their
miss
black
out on the
justice
calls,
is
y'all want to
not
make sure
getting
that y'all
arrested,
hit
not
the
being in jail
notification
for
bell
14
so y'all
priors,
don't
and then
miss out on
murdering a
that,
white
because we
girl on
still
the
got to
train.
have some
That's
tomorrow.
their
It was
justice.
just too many today. It was well over. It really went past like 200 people, to be honest. And it was like it, because y'all know we can be on.
200 of them were from
Alec. Shout out to Alec. I
this
appreciate that.
channel.
Okay. Appreciate that, Alec, for the cash app. Appreciate you. We can be on for a minute, so I need let's hit that. And before we go, okay. It says talk to Focus Tip. Okay.
There you go.
I'll appreciate that. I'll look into that. Before we go, Y'all make sure that y'all hit that like button. This should be blown up with likes. Okay, we broke a
Might get
record tonight. Okay,
special so
on
you
this
have
channel,
time to
we've never
prepare.
had we've had more people on this channel tonight than we've ever had live. Okay, so I mean, I'm telling you, this is the place of Black empowerment, the place of real justice. Charlie Kirk died because he promoted injustice. Okay, if he was like me, he would be okay. All right, or at least he would be going to a better place. I can say that much. But I want to say, family, I appreciate every single last one of you all, my beloved family. Y'all stay safe because it is going to get wild out here. I've already had to make some arrangements to my schedule because of this, because I had some things
Charlie had a
going
pimple
on
on his
I had
neck
to
and
make
it got
arrangements
popped. Wow,
because
fuck
of
you, damn.
situations like this tend to have a backlash that we got to be safe with. So I want to make sure that every single last one of you all are safe. Keep your children safe. Keep your family safe. Y'all be safe.
Ironic
all right.
coming from you.
With that being said, family, y'all so beloved to me. I appreciate y'all for liking and subscribing. Y'all stay safe, family. Y'all stay blessed. Hold on.
Damn it, I tried.
It sounds like you might get a special with him, though.
What
He said
was
he'd look
that?
into it.
His
Special could be
ending
fun.
logo.
I didn't see it. Was it something gay?
It was a
It-
fist outline, some socialist, communist iconography.
Yeah, but it looked like a fist ripping out somebody's weave.
I mean, yeah, just I don't know. Maybe funny. Damn, yeah, vile, wicked Nappas. Indeed. He won't look into it. Yeah, I agree. Much projection, much evil. And keep in mind that those are the people waiting to celebrate your death while they murder your sons and daughters and rape them. Again, according to 2008, where this was from, the DOJ numbers, there were 0 white on black rapes, while there were 20,000 in the opposite direction here. So, just
Do we have a number
keep
of
in
how
mind.
many people died in Chicago last weekend?
Most likely, they're pretty
Somewhere be-
fast with that.
Somewhere between like 3 and 12s. So I mean, it's quite literally more dangerous than any active war zone currently. But that's that black on black crime, y'all. That's they trying to paint us all like gangbangers and criminals. Shit.
I like that the one guy, even he was like, it's not 13%. It's really more like 3. It's a very small percentage.
You
It's
know,
like, yeah,
that
that's
doesn't.
the problem.
No. That makes it even worse for you because you realize you are 3 to 5% of the population, 18 to 45-year-old black males, right? So you realize how higher per capita that is for individuals of your age and persuasion. All right. Absolute Movement 5 says like 5 guys were posting Charlie Kirk dead memes and pissing off like 5 other guys, but even that isn't as ghoulish as the Nongs. No, they love it, man. They love it. Jack Driver for 2 says his smoke alarm was chirping. Classic. I think that was a synthetic one.
I
Pretty
don't
sure-
know what you're
Pretty
talking
sure
about.
that was Richard. Yeah, Richard has that. Actually, yes. So we got to end on a positive note. Everyone, please say a prayer for Charlie and his family tonight and the future of this country. One way or the other. Let's pray for a brighter future, gentlemen. But Space, thanks for hanging out, homie. 40 cal enjoyer. Anything you want to shout out or talk about before we get out of here?
Drink creatine, drink lots of water. Stay hydrated.
Hell yeah, Richard.
Somebody just tagged me with the numbers for Chicago last weekend. It was 21 people. So
Wait, killed?
21 people shot and 7 of them killed.
Oh, shot. Okay, 7. Okay, all right. So I figured. Damn. All right. Well, with all that out of the way, gentlemen, tomorrow night we will do a response stream to TA targets for being absolute retards and calling out myself and Ben Stager and a few other people. And we are going to have a little response to that because they were being big retards, and we'll make fun of them for being the tards. But with all that out of the way, gentlemen, thank you so much for watching. I hope you all enjoyed. Pray for Charlie Kirk and his family, and God bless, gents.